A very warm welcome back to Belgrade for live coverage of ESG Tours Mykonos Qualifier. It is day number 2 of 2. We're back once more here in the EFRAG studio in Belgrade to bring you live coverage of the grand final. Simon and Tom are alongside. Plenty to come, of course, from these boys, and commentary looking forward to a best-of-3 grand final between two French teams, which, Simon, you predicted yesterday.
Of course I did. I mean,
did he? I don't remember that.
It's a fog. I've kind of lost it. Yeah.
I mean, people who know stuff about CS could easily call that final. So,
how did your Hellraisers predictions go?
Where's your hat? Exactly.
It's actually in my bag.
Window,
it's in my bag.
Yeah, okay.
Should I go get it?
And
just
it
wear
has
it with no
begun
relevance.
already. The banter is well and truly alive in the studio. Before we get to the grand final, we've still got plenty to talk about. We'll recap day number 1 in just a moment as well. But time now to tell you about a very special competition. Details will appear at the bottom of the screen for you to enter and win one of 2 golden tickets. They are VIP tickets, access, all exclusive, all paid for. One from North America, one from Europe, for fans to come along to Mykonos, which, by the way, is a closed tournament. No one else other than the players and the talent will be on site. No crowd whatsoever will be allowed in. There's police on the borders as well. I'll just warn you that now. But there are VIP tickets up for grabs via the golden tickets for one person from North America and one from Europe to come and stay with us in the Mykonos villas, enjoy VIP access. You can rub shoulders with the stars and the talent, as well as Thorin. All expenses paid. Love you, Duncan. All expenses paid, trips, everything's done for you. And exclusive, totally exclusive for you to come and join us. And I promise you, it's going to be a fantastic vacation for you and a fantastic tournament for the players. So you don't want to miss out on that. Make sure you enter the competition right away. Right, let's take a look at the group standings from yesterday. Of course, we have 4 teams in action yesterday, all competing for the top 2 spots. The winner ultimately will also get a VIP ticket to Mykonos to join the other 7 teams who have already been invited. Unfortunately, we said goodbye yesterday to Space Soldiers. They went 0-3, very surprisingly. The other 3 teams, however, all managed to win 2 games and lose 1. Unfortunately, on the tiebreaker, though, Hellraisers are sent packing. It's LDLC and Team EnVyUs that qualify through. So, gents, in the end, I think we kind of got to what we thought we might end up with the LDLC.
Well, not for me.
Envy matchup. I know you particularly, Tom, wanted or thought Space Soldiers were going to turn up. They failed in all 3 games.
Yeah, they did, especially the last one, but I can cut them a little bit of slack there because you're going to be absolutely demoralized at that point. First 2 games were pretty close. It was actually just their CT sides that really let them down. Yeah.
And Simon, Hellraisers, I think it's fair to say, put up a decent fight yesterday. I mean, they've gone out on goal difference, effectively, from the rounds, and having had 1 bad game yesterday, it's cost them quite dearly. But that's a decent performance for such a new fledgling team lineup.
I think every single one of us were really pleased to see them doing that well. Obviously, we were talking about it yesterday. We saw them just pulling out simple strats, and it kind of worked for them. In a couple of the games at least, so really impressed about them. Obviously still in the honeymoon phase. We'll have to see what they can build from this. Obviously going deeper into strats doesn't always work for new teams, so we'll have to see, but exciting to see them in action.
Why do teams do that? NIP recently did it, obviously had a bit of a an upswing,
well,
the honeymoon period.
They
always
do
that
time.
when they do team changes. But why do teams do that, do you think?
Well, I feel like a new player, or in this case, 2 new players, actually gives you a bit more life. Like, you've sort of got people who have got the drive, especially in this case, where you've got someone like Woxic, who's, he was in Dark Passage, but that was never really a team that expected to hit new heights. Issa's only really played in, a mixed team and a team in Jordan. So this is like their big break. This is a big organization. No matter how well they've done recently, they have been an org that has been to majors. They've been in big tournaments before, and they've got very close to the top of a lot of these tournaments. So to join an organization like that, you're going to be motivated. And then when you see your team motivated and happy and looking to do well, that's going to bring you up no matter who you are. And with NIP especially, you brought in Draken, who's now, that's sort of like his moment, or Rez as well, where it's like they're youngsters and you're going, this is your chance in what has been for quite a while one of the biggest Swedish organizations. So they're going to be like, right, I want to win something. I want to prove myself. And then you got the old dogs who are going, hey, do you know what? If they really want this, I think that's going to bring me up. That's going to make me play better as well.
All right, let's get into our grand final. It is a matchup, as we said at the top of the show, of 2 French teams. They have been around for an awfully long time. They've gone through a number of different shuffles and roster changes over the years, both Envy and LDLC, but they have been a long-standing set of French teams. LDLC, of course, not quite a French team anymore in the sense of their player roster, but certainly in terms of their backer and their team lineups over the last few years. So let's start with EnVyUs as far as the 2 teams are concerned. A little bit indifferent yesterday, like a little bit up and down, but as Tom discovered when we went through the results, they just played Cobble.
Yeah.
Well, it seems to be their...
So did most of the teams.
Yeah.
That's true. But they played all 3 games on Cobble yesterday, giving nothing away.
What we saw from them was basically if they start picking up rounds and building economy, then they'll do just fine. The second they're under pressure with in terms of money, they make really weird decisions. They half buy into so many rounds and just it basically goes away from them.
Well, they either half buy or they're sort of like, they're saving for a bigger buy, but then sort of investing a bit, and you're thinking, either just save or don't. Like they're trying to do,
like,
they're trying so hard
this
to do
middle
damage.
ground?
Yeah, it's all, sort of like somebody said, okay, we're not buying, and then someone else has gone, okay, well I'll try and do some damage, and okay, well, like we saw that with Space Soldiers. Yeah, as well, where it was sort of like...
surely not in a team where Happy is the in-game leader and he's like, guys, we're doing this round and you're going to do what I tell you to do.
I feel like they've got Major as well, so I feel like they're both in-game leaders where you go, you shouldn't be ignoring them at all, but there's big stars in the team who they're probably going to have egos. I don't know them, but I imagine that they are going to have like these decent egos. Well, you can throw them under the bus. I'll keep myself indifferent, and I don't want to put a target on my head.
Okay. Just talking about Happy, he had some good games yesterday, in particular the middle of those three matches. And also RPK stepping up, which, you know I almost sound shocked when I said that, but we haven't really seen the old RPK for a number of years, and just to see him having a few good games gives me hope.
Yeah, it was really fun to see the old tank stepping up yesterday. That was his, well, nickname, I guess, back in the days. Hitting off some really nice shots, but I was astounded to see Happy the way he played. Basically, I think it was 1.73 in the rating 2.0 on HLTV in that match against LDLC. You don't expect that from Happy, and if he can do the same today, then I think LDLC is going to be in a world of hurt.
He was entry fragging. Like,
at
one point in the game, he was entry fragging.
First in every time.
Like if you say Happy, most people think lurker. So it was really refreshing to see him just.
He did have one round.
Yeah, he did, and it actually went very, very well. So you've got to give it to him. Like when he did lurk, that was right in the. I think that was pistol round.
Yeah,
so
it was,
I'll let him get away with that one. You can be a bit more sneaky there, but a lot of the time on Cobble, which is the only map they played, it was just like a rush B strategy, and it wasn't anything complicated. But it was nice to just see him going, yeah, I'm leading the charge. I'm feeling good. I'm going to just destroy my opposition. And all up until Hellraisers, that was the game plan, and it worked.
Yeah, I did worry at one point when they started rushing B Sim and that they were doing the plow strat. I genuinely worried.
You wouldn't worry. I mean, that works fine. We've tried it multiple times. Proven strategy. I think even VP tried the strat.
They did
with
try
some
to do it.
success. So
you have some other strats that I'm not so in agreement with.
No, the Impa Loompa is a sadly underrated strategy that the teams. I haven't been able to get anyone to adopt that one yet. It's 5 by 5 UMPs and then crouch to one on one sides. No one seems to think that works.
Do you know what? You should have just left it and not said what it was, and then just had other people just thinking, what is the Impa Loompa?
I mean, the recent nerf coming in from Valve onto the UMP basically ruined our strat.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah, Valve nerfed our strat. Anyway, getting back to the more serious matter of the game, let's turn our attention to LDLC and take a look at their lineup and discuss their road to the grand final as well. They were looking pretty good yesterday, it has to be said, and then just slipped up in one of the 3 games, which wasn't the game we thought they would slip up in. We thought they'd come unstuck against Envy, and
they did.
And then, yeah, they did.
That's some,
it's quite good that I'm here, isn't it? That
it's
I actually
very
remember
good
the games
yeah,
that
I mean,
happened yesterday.
I'm old, obviously. Yesterday's a distant memory to me. It's
Envy were the one
ago.
who slipped up versus Hellraisers. LDLC lost to Envy, and then they beat the other 2. They actually destroyed Hellraisers as well.
Yes.
So that was.
But that's what cost Hellraisers the place in the final.
Yeah,
in the end,
that
when
was
you look at the scores.
Yeah, because that put their round difference up by quite a margin, lowered Hellraisers at the same time. And that was I think that was the only map we've seen neither of these 2 teams that wasn't Cobblestone. So that was them on Overpass. So if that comes up later today, which I actually expect it to, I won't give too much away. But yeah, that could make this series a lot more interesting.
Okay, Simon, what did you make of them yesterday?
They started off really bad, but going into the next 2 games, they gradually improved. I mean, playing against Hellraisers didn't really impress me that much, considering they're a new team. But then again, you see how well Hellraisers step up against the other teams. So I don't know. I do expect them to get a map, but I do not expect them to go through.
Okay, why?
It's Envy. Envy's going to crush them.
Okay, so it's because you favour the other team rather than anything that LDLC might do less well? It's
not about favouring, it's about who's the better team.
Okay, that. Definitive.
That is sort of what favouring is, though.
Well, I'm glad you pointed that out. He's your co-commentator
I'm
after all.
not from England.
Now, are we going to get into the argument about 3:30 again, are we?
Oh, God. 4:30.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 4:30, but he turned up at 3:30 thinking that's what 4:30 meant.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Moving
on. Okay, so Tom, LDLC.
It's the revenge of Devil. That's what I want to see. I love it when you see players gunning for their old team. Scream did it.
Yep.
Like that was the early sort of EnVy came back and they went, oh, they're going to play G2, and everyone went, ah, G2's the super team, and Scream went, well, I'm the Super Saiyan. I'm just going to go in. And he absolutely destroyed them. So I'm hoping Devil just goes into this just going, look, Existence, I know you have the strats. I was playing with a lot of these guys. I want to obliterate them, and I'm hoping Existence just goes, all right. And then we get to see just maybe something a little bit more exciting, because you know that they are the more strategically in-depth team, or they should be with Existence at the helm. I'm hoping that maybe they go for a little bit more of a freestyle and at least challenge these players, because it is said, like in the game that EnVy lost, they didn't start that well. The economy didn't go very well, something we mentioned, and that was where they slipped. So if LDLC can capitalize and maybe catch them off guard a bit, if they're expecting high strategy and instead they just get Devil running at them, who knows? Maybe they can just steal it that way.
Are you not worried, Simon? I know you have EnVy as the favourites in this match. Are you not worried about their poor management of money yesterday?
Well, obviously I am. If they start losing rounds early on, yeah, they're going to have a bad time, I think. But you also have to take into consideration that LDLC, they played 6 games straight yesterday, and they had another qualifying game today.
Yeah.
So I think they actually might be a little bit exhausted.
Yeah, well, but they're also playing warm.
Well, yeah, to a certain extent, but then you get burnt out.
They still had 12 hours to recover.
But they've also been out this morning and bought sun cream for Mykonos, so...
Okay, we'll see if that's money well spent.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, money well spent. Let's take a look at the vetoes, because they're ready, and get your views, gents, on these vetoes, because I know that you've both had quite a lot of sparring about what might end up going down here. So what are we expecting to see?
Well, at least from the bans, like, Train is the standard one for LDLC. The standard one for EnVy is normally Mirage, but neither of the teams like Mirage. So I'm hoping they play a little bit of chicken and sort of go, look, we know you hate this map, so we're not going to ban it either. And they should then go and ban Nuke, because that is a map that they're not particularly good on.
I should explain to the viewers as well. We're going to go ban, pick, ban, pick here. So Mirage is removed from EnVy.
LDLC should pick Nuke now when it comes up. This should be a better Train ban.
Are we 2 for 2? Let's find out whether the Vegas slot machine delivers.
In the end, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll go Train.
And then this, I think this should be Cobble, because this is a map that Cobble or Inferno. I think Inferno would be a little bit more of an interesting pick. But yeah, there you go. So they're feeling confident on Inferno. Something that LDLC also like to play. And maybe they're expecting Cobble to be left in. I think
so do LDLC
they should go Nuke.
This should be Nuke, right?
I'm disappointed in that, because that's a map that EnVy don't really like.
Right, so LDLC get to ban last here, and then EnVy get to pick last. So I'm assuming LDLC will look at this and go, we have to get rid of Cash.
Minus Cash, and then it'll be Cobble at the end.
Yes,
EnVy have played this so well. This veto has gone very well for EnVy, I think.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
Well, actually, we were pretty much wrong all the way along, but...
well, we got 2 out of 3.
Actually 5 out of 6. I'll call it 5 out of 6, because we didn't call the Overpass pick.
Well, the Overpass pick was actually what we had down, because we were thinking it would go minus Train, minus Nuke, and then they'd pick Overpass. But because Nuke was left in, that was the one that actually screwed up the whole veto for us. Because we were expecting that maybe they'd go along that line, and then that would be the one pick that EnVy didn't really want to see, because they haven't played it in the last couple of months. But instead, LDLC didn't go on it. And I think LDLC has something like 6 or 7 in a row wins on Nuke now. So I don't know why. Obviously, they played Overpass yesterday, and it went incredibly well. So maybe that's the sort of basis of it. If they have sort of been practicing over the last few months, like obviously there's been a long break, so maybe that's something they've also taken into consideration. But I do think that EnVy have come out way better. Like, they've got 2 maps which they should definitely win. And so Inferno and Cobble, I'm giving over to them. And then Overpass, I think that might be the one that LDLC could steal away. But then again, it could still go the way of EnVy. It's not one of their worst maps, at least. Okay,
well, we're going to open things up on EnVy's map choice. It'll be LDLC's side choice for map number 1 on your screen right now, which will be Inferno. Are you okay with that, Simon, in the sense that they've already beaten them on Cobble, and there is that element of, yeah, we beat them, but they probably learned quite a lot about how we played and could probably then develop some form of counter and then shut us down. It's better for them to move away from that?
I think they'll be. I think it's a good choice to go for Inferno here. Absolutely. Also they got to keep Cobble later on. So they pretty much won the map veto in that sense.
Just off that pick.
And personally, I'm really happy to see Inferno being played. It's one of my all-time favorite maps. There's so much. It's so much strategy involving that map.
And it hasn't changed massively in strategy, has it? I know there are some slightly different quirks and some boosts here and there, but in general, the way that you set up mid or Banana. Those
It's
things
all
are,
about banana
they're
control.
they're very similar to the way that you would control Inferno before on T side.
Yeah, and what I'm hoping to see, obviously, from EnVy is playing a little bit offensive at CT. I'm expecting to see that from both sides there, to be honest.
And critically, we've already mentioned it once or twice, but money management never more important on the CT side of Inferno.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially all the nades used on Banana are just critical.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you lose the pistol, a lot of the time you see teams now actually just only maybe buying a pistol and no Kevlar behind it, because you want to make sure when you go into your buy round that you make sure you have smokes, incendiaries as well, like to make sure they can't just, because if you have a smoke, people just run straight through it. It's useless. So it's so crucial. And if you can take that portion away from the map, then you can start gambling players, and that's where the real strategy of the rotations of this map's come into play. If you don't have the utility, you don't have that control, you're just sitting on the sites and waiting to die.
Yeah.
And that's what might bite EnVy in the ass if they end up with half buys.
In the semen ass.
I see what you did there. Nice
Good,
little pun.
good, nice little link.
That most people won't get.
No.
Do you do you feel like in this particular instance then, with LDLC having side choice, that they may go T side to start, put EnVy under a bit of pressure?
They might do that, but
They might do.
honestly, I think they'll start CT.
Yeah, I mean most teams would.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is for LDLC, like this is still like probably their second most played map. So it's not like it's a bad map for them.
Sure.
I don't think this was too much of a problem. I think not picking Nuke was the one I was a bit more confused about. But at the same time, if you're feeling more confident on Overpass, then go for it. You should go for your choice and not counterban. Also, these guys know each other very, very well. So maybe the reads can come in existence is feeling, okay, I think I can outplay them on a map like Overpass where there's more rotations and quick decisions are needed. So that's all fine, but going into this map as well, it's another map that they're very, very happy to play. It just hasn't been going very well. Their record on it is, I think it was like of the last 10, they've managed to win 3 or something like that, which again is against lower opposition as well. And when you look at it in that sense, you're thinking, okay, then that means you're just being out-fragged a lot of the time. Like the strategy at the lower levels is not going to be hugely in-depth. So then when you come up against a better team who can also out-frag you, you sort of worry a little bit. They go, okay, if they, like, even if EnVy start T-side, they might just be able to overrun you. And it's a map that they like to play.
Yeah. Okay, very interesting to see which side they take. Simon, in the sense of the whole series, is it giving you a better feeling for EnVy winning this 2-0 or 2-1?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I haven't seen EnVy on Overpass lately, but I've got a good feeling. Obviously, that's a normal map to play, so I think that they'll have a good chance of taking this 2-0 anyways, but considering we're ending up on Cobblestone, I'm even more confident that EnVy will get through.
If it does go to 3 maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And in the sense of LDLC, what have they got in their firepower that's going to help them here? We talked about Devil being that guy that can come back and get some revenge against his old team, but who else is going to step up in this team if they're going to win this match?
Well, at least in the third map of Cobble yesterday, Maniac was really, really good. Like you just saw him take control of certain rounds, and he was actually fragging heavily, which is not really the reason he's in the team. Like normally you look at him maybe a little bit more supportive, but of course this whole team's been shuffled around recently with the addition of Devil, and it actually looks like he's taken a few more aggressive roles, which is working. So I don't know why they'd fade away from it. And in terms of just Cobblestone in general, you have to say, okay, they did lose to EnVy, but they also went on and beat Space Soldiers, who are another great Cobble team. So there's still chances for them in this series for sure. Yeah,
indeed. We're moments away from going live between these two teams on map 1. Remember, for you folks at home watching, thank you for joining us here from the live EFRAG studios in Belgrade for live coverage of ESG Tours Mykonos qualifiers. It is the grand final, it's best of 3, and we're about to head into map number 1. Whose team are going down to the local? All the action.
Well, looks like we're going to be going into this one fairly shortly. I think we're both sort of leaning the EnVy way, especially, that's quite surprising because I think we've been fairly split throughout most of this series.
We have.
But I'm looking at a 2-1. I do think that they'll be able to take Overpass. And to be fair, the first 2 maps, well, in fact, all 3 maps are ones that LDLC do actually like to play. It's not like they have just gone for weird maps and it's like, oh, they don't even play this one. Like, if Train had been left in, it would have blown my mind. But
the thing is, it's 3 maps that work for every single team on the server. So it could go any way, but I think EnVy still the better team.
XMS is going to be wrapping straight around. Devil is there, as said. It's against his old team. Tuanu to support. Devil actually just going to let them wrap around it. It just seems the T-side have ruined them at the moment. Devil will finally be able to get one back, but it's not really anything too impressive, and the B side has already been taken. They've rotated back around. Maniac goes the long flank, and already they have a player waiting in the form of RPK. He'll go down, so actually caught from behind. Does make things a little bit more difficult for the T's to hold on to, but happy with another one, already getting himself a couple and a third in this round. The in-game leader starting off strong once again, and an explosive pistol coming out from EnVyUs straight off the bat to take the first round.
It's such a fantastic feeling to go through middle and just run straight through CT spawn and take that B side. And they do it in a great way. I mean, minimal loss of people on their way to the B-bomb side, obviously dropping a few people along the way. But in the end, Happy is just proving too strong once again, and I'm happy to see.
Oh, God. That was too easy of fun as well.
I'm sorry.
I have to ask, what's your opinion on high SMG second rounds? Because we've got one rifle in there, but it's a Galil, and then every other player's on SMGs.
I'm not a big fan of it. Like, obviously, we were talking about it yesterday as well. There's not that much money to be made. I mean, it's easy to lose an SMG here up against pistols and armor. And with a bomb plant, no, sorry, never mind. I was going the wrong way. I was going the wrong way.
You know, guys,
my bad,
if the CTs plant the bomb, they'll be able to make themselves some extra cash.
It would be sick.
Just like sabotage.
It makes more sense to do on the T side.
That would be a new type of iBuy power thrower if you can just plant the bomb on your own site. But
we did see it on a lot of the CT sites yesterday, and on CT I don't think that works. But on T, it's fine.
yeah, also interesting that the one person without an SMG is probably the one who wants to be making the most money. Sixer, the AWP of the team, has actually gone with the Galil, but he will get himself that entry onto the site. They've taken control of Banana and just look to push on, and so far it is looking very good. Twanu not able to connect. He doesn't have any armor, so he's just going to be absolutely shredded by these SMGs, and Happy leading the charge forward. He doesn't want to let them save anything in this situation. Now, they do only have pistols, but at the same time, having all these SMGs, you want to be making as much money as you can. It's not a huge loss. It's not something that LDLC really need to think about saving. And the likelihood is when you go into the next couple of rounds anyway, or at least the fourth round when they go to buy, you're going to want to get rid of the SMGs anyway. Some teams keep them in as a bonus, but ultimately you're aiming to have rifles at that point.
Yeah, like normally you wouldn't be hunting these players down just to get their pistols and armor off of them. It's all about stacking up that money, utilizing what the SMGs are basically for, to build bank. But yet to find them. And that's a good round for Envy.
Yeah, 4 players alive. Money made up by the SMG. Happy can... He's actually just going to buy another one, fair enough. Probably could have just gone for a pistol, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference, and they're actually going to give the chance for Sixer to now make all that extra cash. So really, he was actually just trying to keep his armor and make sure that he survives, which is absolutely fine. And then it means that if he does want the AWP, which a lot of teams don't, it has to be said, T-side Inferno, I think probably the least common side of any map to buy the AWP.
Indeed.
Nice start though.
Alex using that smoke, getting into position, picking up the frag, but the other side of the map, we got 3 EnVyUs players taking that banana bomb site. And we just got Happy lurking over towards A.
Well, the interesting thing, though, is Alex has actually managed to recover the UMP, which could benefit them massively when it comes to buying to the next couple of rounds, because there you go, already making himself $600. Same being made back in return, but yeah, another $1,200 already added in, so that's going to be a huge boost. May even net them the AWP in the next round, which is going to be bought anyway by Twanu, but it could mean that they get extra utility, and of course, we already spoke about that when it comes to banana control. You want to have all the nades that you can.
So probably one of the hardest sites in CS to hold without any form of utility.
Interesting, Twanu actually made the choice to go glass cannon. So he could have actually bought Kevlar here, but instead wants to make sure that he has the armor. Look at this from Existence. Close position gain. Going to actually jump across, and that means Scream's given a free kill from behind. Already Twanu's tagged down to just 5 HP, and so far this is looking dreadful from LDLC. They've already... well, basically lost 2 players. Twanu with the AWP, it means can have some impact, but Happy he kept that trusty Mac 10. And he's managed to pick himself up another kill. Now, of course, in this situation, Happy is expendable. He's got nothing really to lose and so much to gain just in terms of being a burden to his opposition. He can run into the site, scout out for his team, and maybe even get a frag along the way. Alex will trade one back, but it literally lasts a matter of seconds, and that's both remaining players over towards B. RPK, he doesn't want them holding on to any weaponry here, so he's on the hunt.
That's good play from RPK. He's already over at the B-bomb site. I'm kind of expecting him to go into that B-bomb site straight away, but he wants to hold on for a second, see if the CTs want to go for this or rotate through Banana and into T-spawn to save their weapons. Question is, has RPK given away his position in any sense? Because Devil and Maniac, they are staying put on B.
It's a nice upgrade as well. Mac 10 removed, and then you get an AWP instead. That's a massive money saver for EnVyUs. They are actually all going to now go looking. Just have one man waiting on the bomb. That'll be 6-0 with the AWP, so not going to risk giving that back because, well, we all know that a Catalyst AWP can be wonderful, and XMS is actually going to go pushing, but Maniac gets one and a second, so he makes things at least a bit more costly. Happy's not going to have too much of a problem. $10,000 in the bank to purchase back up. He's 7-2 after only a few rounds, and well, in this round, he can't really be a buy-up, but they are actually going to invest a bit. Alex has got himself a FAMAS. Now he can still buy into the next round using the max loss bonus.
A little bit nervous about that AWP Envy though. Like they decided not to go for the AWP. They favor playing without the AWP, but getting that free AWP means they're gonna adjust their play. And the question is, how will that work against LDLC?
In this sort of round, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's more if they hand it over to somebody. Scream, spotting a couple, can't quite find the shot onto either. They're both just going to escape with their lives. And Alex actually looking to take a little bit of aggression. Of course, they don't have much utility in this round. They don't even have that much weaponry. So to start with some aggression is wonderful. And Tuanu's actually going to get himself the first kill of the round onto Happy. So already evening back up the scorelines, if anything, because they still have a man disadvantage and a couple of players with pistols. But with the two rifles still in play, both over towards this B site, it could become a bit more interesting, especially with all of the players from Envy. They're just going no holds barred straight into the site. It will be a trade, leaving just one man here. Rotation has come in, but Devil's done the damage, leaving it down to a 2 versus 4. RPK manages one back, but now it's all on to Scream. He's missed quite a few shots at the beginning of this round. He's going to fake plant the bomb, hoping they'll come peeking in. Tuanu does for a second. He's got to be careful because there is still a man down the back of Banana. Screen wants to try and take the fight, finds one, but quick trade from Tuanu. Couldn't actually afford to take even a bullet there, Tuanu, because he had no armor and that would be his gun to the sky. But more importantly, the aggression works wonderfully for LDLC. A little bit more confidence put into their backs, and they get a big injection of cash as well, because that was a round that they were pretty much just saving.
Yeah, fantastic stuff, and got a little bit lucky there at the end. They barely spotted a Scream pushing in through that smoke because it dissipated a little bit too early for him. And that made it easy for them to set up the crossfire. But once again, Envy with the buy. And no AWPs in hand for Sixer.
And he's actually just going to hand them the bomb. Existence will say thank you very much. The bomb's now over towards that arch side. Not sure if Sixer didn't know that he has it. Maniacs run all the way through the smoke that they threw in mid. And I'm always a big fan of that deep smoke. It just isolates so much because Envy have no idea if there's anybody behind it. And also, if they do run through it, that's going to be a surprise for EnVyUs just in general. Tuanu then finishes off XMS. Probably doesn't expect him to be right around the bottom of mid. And you look at Happy's position now. He's completely surrounded. A flawless round from the CT side. A great way to come back into things as they make a huge amount of cash. And now all that money that was actually saved up by Envy is already diminished within 2 rounds.
And we'll have to see if Envy keeps on doing the mistake they were doing yesterday.
They should just save here.
They should definitely just save here. A little bit of a pistol bought up for at least, well, every single player goes for some kind of weaponry. And quite a lot of utility being bought up from Envy. It does look like they want to hit that A-bomb site. Got 4 players over towards that. Whilst RPK just lurking around bottom of mid.
T-side just slowly taking out map control. Now you have to remember, they don't have too much in this round. This is all about damage. Now a flawless round is magnificent for LDLC, but they don't want to be losing too much of these pistols. Losing a couple is fine, anything more, and it's becoming more of a cost. No real support from Alex there, just leaving his teammate out to dry, but it's all a bit of a bait as he now peeks in and takes down a couple along with the help from his teammates. Spray's good, they lose 1 player, absolutely fine.
Alex started off in a bad way yesterday, and we've just seen him gradually improving. throughout the qualifier. He's up to 7 frags right now, leading the score for LDLC. Will be open, Tuanu. Let's see if he can get an early pick down middle. No one to be found.
Devil. Looking like they're both taking a little bit more aggression. I'm liking this from Maniac and Devil. That could be a deadly way to hold on to Banana, because these two players have, well, Devil's been a bit up and down, but when he's been playing well, he's been playing very well. And Maniac has probably been the most consistent player on this team throughout so far. Tuanu does miss a bit more of a sitter of a shot. And the interesting thing is, they have actually saved again. So that was sort of looking like a round where they were just going to save their money and invest in the next. Instead, they've done it twice. That's the same as yesterday.
It's Envy all over again.
It's a bit of a weird situation to be in, because it seems like either they're just calculating the money wrong and play, like for example, XMS bought a Deagle and Armor in the previous round, then buys another Deagle in this round. Now, if you're going to do that, why not just invest the nades in the last round and eco here, and then you have more of a chance of winning, rather than just doing sort of 2 semi-buy rounds, not doing that much in the first one, probably not going to do that much here either. Flash straight through. Maniac is actually blind in the corner, but they've completely missed the angle. Happy does manage to take him down, however, and actually, they managed to get the sights on themselves. A bomb plant could be a nice little injection of cash. They've got to be careful for the man from behind. Somehow, this one's actually working out better for EnVyUs. The caster's curse, but Existence looks to fix it, and the running boost. Sixer is just thrown into his death, leaving it down to him, the in-game leader, cleaning up 4 kills of the round. And although it got a little bit sketchy for a second, LDLC do enough.
I just don't understand why Envy decides to go for that kind of buy every single time. Like, throughout yesterday, we saw it didn't work for them.
That one, it looks like they may have saved the extra cash to get the AWP onto Sixer, but in the early rounds, they didn't seem to worry too much about the AWP. So it is quite interesting that if that is the reason, that's become so much more of a pivotal play. Early smoke. Nice to see Tuanu not going for anything aggressive in this round, and I think he may be aware that Sixer has purchased up an AWP of his own, so it's fair enough to not want to challenge directly and just hold on to your own position. Spray through the wall, Scream! Catches out Alex. He won't play any further part in this round. And just knowing your spots, guys, just knowing your spots can be enough to open things up, especially on that T side. It can be very difficult when your opponents have so much utility to actually break into the sites. So to get somebody through a wall like that, it's got to feel amazing for Scream.
Well played from him. Gradually trying to push. Gets 1 kill, but gets the revenge from Existence straight after. But still man advantage for Envy.
RPK. Ooh, see, now that's a 1v1 that it's not really necessary. You have a man advantage. RPK may have just bitten off a little bit more than he can chew, and that's actually set up LDLC right back into the round.
Obviously still advantage Envy, but kind of feel like RPK threw that one a little bit away for EnVyUs. Having the possibility of pushing one side with 4 players and having the chance that LDLC only had 1 player over at that bomb site.
That is the one benefit now, though. So you spotted the AWP. Now, most people in a situation, if you have an AWP and 2 riflers, you send the AWP over towards B and you leave the 2 riflers on A. That's the more common of the strategies. So now that they've found that 1 AWP, they are just going to push straight in, and this means that there's actually no presence. I think they're scared that they would have wrapped around Arch because they completely abandoned it. So now Tuanu's had to take such an aggressive angle over towards that spot of the map. He's completely given things up, and Happy goes aggressive himself, takes down Existence, leaving it onto 2v2, but then does the same thing that we just saw moments ago. Again, a way back into this for the CT side. Bomb is ticking. Tuanu just hoping that somebody peeks into the angle. The remaining 2 players are not falling for the same traits of their teammates. Because of that, it's making it very difficult to get back in. There's no utility for LDLC to retake with. They used it in the early round situations to slow down these pushes. A very common way to play, and this crossfire is just magnificent. Tuanu with the no-scope, but Sixer quick enough on the trade. It means that they are actually going to be straight back on 5-4. But look how much money has been built up. This is exactly what we were speaking about, where they sort of give over a couple of extra rounds, and because of it, it means that now you just look at LDLC and they say, yeah, you know what, we still got a load of cash.
Still a little bit interested as to why Envy has decided to go for the AWP on the T side after doing that well without the AWP. See though, Interesting buy coming out from LDLC as well. We got an SMG in play. With that kind of money, you'd expect him to buy something else. Offensive take from LDLC. I like this. Take control of Banana. And have the ability to leave one player behind, but I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Oh, Devil's playing anti-flash. That was what that was. I was a bit confused myself. It doesn't make a difference, though. He still goes down. Maniac does the same. And now the rotation has to be quick. Still a long way to run. Twanu getting ready to hold the cross, but this could work in the favor. I think the players up in App may have heard the rotation, and quickly and clinically, we just see the T side opening this round, leaving the two remaining players completely out of the action. Very well played by EnVyUs there. They don't do what the classic play would be. Okay, we got 2 kills on B. Let's run straight into the site. They wait. They hear the rotations, and then it's a simple take of the A site.
That's phenomenal work from Envy. X6 setting up a little bit of an offensive position for the exit frags. Not really sure why. Obviously, they do not want Envy to get back onto their role and start building economy, but at the same time, LDLC is going to lose this round, and they're going to have to reinvest into weapons, and their bank accounts will slowly turn into 0. So I feel like X6 probably should try to just get away. And,
will that be enough damage to kill Sixer? No, not quite. It's close. If he lands another bullet, that's exactly what Existence was going for there. Not quite the Dosia nade play.
No, but still a little bit sexy.
It's clever.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Get Right or somebody else. I remember that what they did was they only had pistols. So there's a player in the corner, 2 players in the corner. So right at the end of the round, he runs in and just shoots them with the pistol. $300 investment. Both players go up with the bomb.
Oh yeah, that's slick.
That's a very, very clever strategy. And I think it was Get Right saying that he's been waiting for somebody to do that play for a while with the HE.
I've got to say, XMS is not really showing up now. He's on 2 kills for his team. Pretty much the only player on the server who is not stepping up to the plate.
It's interesting as well, because Envy are actually doing all right. I think it matters more that he steps up on the CT side.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
And at the moment, it is a little bit worrying, but he is definitely one of those players where I have actually seen him. I think he was like on, it was something crazy, like 0 kills for the first like 10 rounds of a game before, and then he finished on 23.
All right, so
which he is a player based off momentum, but at the same time, he's definitely someone who can just come back into a game. Whereas, say there's some players you watch them and go, okay, they've got 1 kill in the first 5 rounds, they're stuffed for the whole game now.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see if he does manage to step up. It would be a nice little bonus for Envy as they're already in the lead. Twanu is going hella aggressive, and I like it. They don't have the utility to really hold off too much, although the majority of their utility, in fact, all of their utility other than 1 flashbang, is actually over to the B side of the map. But cleverly, this is what we talked about in the pregame. You have that AWP setup, you have that deep smoke, you send 4 players over towards that A site and you stack it. You rely on Twanu. It's a lot of pressure on his shoulders, and we'll see if he can cope with it. And if not, well, there's still 4 players waiting on this A site, which it looks like Envy are making their way towards.
Nice setup from LDLC. Opens up with 1 kill. Scream's taken out. So is XMS.
Sixer will be able to trade. Taking so much damage, and Devil doesn't even care. Here's the aggression I wanted to see. His old team. Yeah, you shouldn't have kicked me, guys. Maybe I wasn't the problem. Problem's a different guy. Maniac is going to double down in the end, and that's perfect. Like, it has to be said, the way that the round worked out worked very kindly for them, because that's where you have your stack. That's where you have the majority of players. If they'd gone B, who knows what would have happened. Maybe Twanu gets 1, maybe he kills everyone, or maybe he gets nothing and dies. So it's a risk, but a calculated risk. And yeah, it's a classic strategy on this map, and it worked.
That's kind of what I feel when you get that offensive smoke in Banana from the CTs. It's worth sticking around, let the smoke dissipate, let's see what kind of pressure. Is there an automatic rifle in Banana? Well, then there's probably going to be 2 players there. If it's only an AWP, go for the play.
It sort of becomes mind games of the mind games, because in the CT side go, okay, well then if we show an AWP, yeah, they'll only think there's 1, and then we have 3. Like that's where it just comes down to, well, dog eat dog. Who has the bigger brain or the bigger balls in many cases? Either way, this time they are looking to take a little bit more control, but very quick from LDLC. they had that same setup, 1 AWP, and players rotating off. The second they see some Molotovs thrown over, they then rotate 3. This is an excellent read. There's so many players here. A chance to drop the bomb and a spray down. Combined with the AWP of Twanu gets them 3 already in the round. The bomb is dropped, and Existence, if these are all just the calls he's making, this is impeccable.
I'm not sure if they should be going for this. Obviously, after Happiest getting that frag, but XMS all alone in Banana. He knows the bomb is up there. He knows there's going to be a shit ton of CTs holding that angle. Hopefully he's waiting for the rotation from Happy. With that smoke, he's forced to do that. Putting down the smoke of his own, and a flash coming in.
Rattling off shots, just a bit of a bait so that Maniac can sit in the corner. He's already got himself 3 in this round, but Happy will remove him from the server. No more today, but Twanu with the support. A nice little duo over on that B site of that AWP. And look who's top of the board, just like we were talking about with yesterday. It's Maniac once again. And I don't doubt that if Twanu doesn't get that kill, Maniac gets it over as well.
Absolutely. Perfect spray control, and obviously they kind of line up for him as well. And once again, they're going for 1 SMG on LDLC, so we might see that same kind of play in Banana with the flash.
This time the situation's a little bit more rewarding though. It's only pistols. If he gives it away, okay, it's not the end of the world. At the same time, doesn't want to give too many kills over because we've already seen how good EnVy can be with these pistols. Now it is happening again. Devil is going aggressive on Banana, already right down the bottom, sat in the smoke. Maniac's there to support him. Now, it has been the Maniac show so far. Existence has had his moments as well, though. It has to be said in those sort of anti-eco rounds that needed to be won. Like losing 2 players early, and then Existence said, okay, enough is enough. And making sure that we win this one. But 6-6, reasonable scoreline. But as said, with these pistols, EnVy are just absolutely nuts. Screen gets 1, quick trade. Devil goes aggressive to make sure that this doesn't go too far out of control. And he still just sticks around, but Scream again. What is going on? He gets 3. Ridiculous stuff. The 1-taps are back. No more sprays. And it's going to leave it down to a 4 versus 2 Existence. He may need to be the hero in these anti-eco rounds again. That running boost does not work once, but Scream is on one at the moment. He's got the highest skill ceiling in the server. There's no doubt about that, and he is showing it right here. 4 kills already. Alex is ducking out. He's tapping. He's been pinned on the floor, and he's just like, no more, no more. We don't want a beating. XMS, next to nothing to lose. An AWP to gain. You can see he's just waiting, expecting an exit from this position. Already EnVy just showing this is what we can do. More Scream showing what this is what I can do.
And that's the problem for LDLC. EnVy's obviously individually got some of the better players. And when tactics fail them, they can always rely on 1-taps with Deagle from Scream.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting.
And there's no one really on the other side that can do that.
No,
not to that
level, no. Now, then Alex, will you get to keep that up?
I think he will. At this point, he'd have to make some ridiculous level mistake or get shot through a wall.
He is from England.
Wow.
Yes, I got it in. I'm done.
Well, see, I would make a Norwegian joke, but there's no one in any of these teams.
Well, you can't make a joke of Norway, because Norway is the best country in the world.
Well, the only link to Norway in this whole game is Maniac, and he's actually playing very well. So it's not really. And no, I realise he's not from Norway. His girlfriend is, so it's fine. Yep. I know. I'm getting that in my ear. His girlfriend is from Norway, so I'm not wrong.
You could say he's linked up to Norway.
Yeah, he's linked.
Yeah.
I know what you're implying, but I'm moving away from that.
Sorry, Hedger. She's just having a laugh, isn't it? Oh well, 6-7, EnVy in the lead. Quite a close game. I didn't expect it to be this close. And if LDLC picks up the first map, wow, it's gonna be exciting moving on to Overpass. But first, we still got 16 rounds to be played on Inferno, possibly.
Devil. It's again, this read has just come in. This time they've left Maniac over there, who has been doing very well, but Devil already going to be taken down. But again, his Existence to try and turn the tide. He'll only be able to get 2, but he has evened things up once again. And straight away, they realize, okay, you've tried to stack this again, haven't you? Okay, we don't know what's behind the smoke, but we can gamble. Nice position. Very difficult to spot players around that angle, but once it's known, and Sixer will be able to trade effectively. Tuanu and Alex around that they must win, and Happy again, not always working with the aggression, but this time it gives them that man advantage back, and Tuanu has to try and retake this with an AWP. He has a smoke, but he's got no kit.
And he's got no way to enter the bomb site, so he decides to fall off. Only thing to do, even got that AWP in hand, so wants to bring that into the next round. Envy, guaranteeing the halftime victory.
And on that T side as well, they're going to be feeling very confident switching over to the CT side. Now, the only worry would be any sort of economy management, which is much more important as well. I feel like we may be railing on them a little bit too much for those sort of mistakes, but we did even see one. I don't know if you can call it a mistake, because they clearly are saving their money to get that AWP. That's what it looked like in that situation, but I feel like it's not really necessary. At the same time, Sixer is at the top of the board, but not really because of fragging. It's he's been doing that bomb planting role, 7-7. Then again, XMS still only on 2 kills, and they are winning.
XMS getting a little bit carried. That's fine. We saw some good games from him yesterday. Now Tuanu, nice little shot onto Sixer. That's the AWP out of the equation.
That's Happy.
Yeah.
He has been one to take AWPs off any player in the past. I do remember a time in that sort of Kenny-esque lineup where Happy went, no, Kenny, I'm sorry, I'm taking the AWP this round, and you think, you what?
You what, mate?
Are you sure? Have you made a bit of a mistake? He actually hits the lineup, doesn't do anywhere near as much damage as he hopes it would. They're going to move back into that position. That's ballsy. And RPK is not ready. He wasn't ready, guys. RPK and Happy have now just turned things back, and you have to remember that the majority of players didn't even have the money to invest into this round, so we got 2 Deagles. Can anybody match Scream's Deagle talent? I'm not so sure. But this position from Alex is one that works so many times. Maybe peeks out a little bit too early, just the timing getting the better of him. Run down. Happy should hit that shot, but doesn't. Maybe the Molotov skewing his vision a bit more than we could see, and Screams back to his headshot ways. Maniac, now the only one left alive. It's the last round. He's got no armor. He does have an AWP. But this is a big ask, and actually most of the players are low, so an AWP isn't the ideal gun in this situation. Scream already spotting him out. All the information Envy could ever desire, and they can just fall back into more passive positions.
No way will LDLC pick up this round. It's going to require a massive screw-up from Envy. And XMS with a 50% increase. Oh, no, he doubled his score tally this round.
100% increase in kills.
Fantastic.
I think he's been planting a few bombs as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
RPK just sat there like, I have the 3rd most kills on my team and I'm bottom. What is this?
Annoying, that is.
A spread on the other side of things, though. 13 top, 8 at the bottom. Normally, though, I would want to see either Alex or Devil further up the board, like putting up more numbers and playing a little bit better, because you look at a lot of the plays that you've seen from Devil in this match, they've been very aggressive. And considering that a lot of the time he wasn't even trading 1-for-1, it's a little bit worrying in terms of their defense. It was really that B site, at least, where Maniac was the man to watch. And even in some of the pistol rounds, it had to be Existence running back over to B and retaking the site himself. So, yeah, definitely not the best performance so far from LDLC. They have had some decent rounds, though, and possibly doing a little bit better than we expected them to be doing. But now we have to see whether they can actually turn things around on that T side.
Yeah, good reads. Good reads from LDLC that half.
The ones that they won, they're like excellent reads. Either way, we are going back into the pistol round. Quite a bit of utility for Tuanu, and a kit and a couple of flashes. I always like to see a kit and smoke. I feel like that's just in case you want to be a little bit sneaky, and you can almost force players into the open better with a smoke, which seems to make little sense. But if you throw it on the bomb and just tap the bomb, players are going to go running to try and stop you from defusing it. So I'm a bit more of a fan of that. There are quite a few players, though, who go for the flashbang, so maybe trying to slow down pushes in that way. Either way, Scream, he's going to try and slow them down with his headshots. He's been doing great work with it so far, but not so good in this round, at least, down to just 6 HP already dinked up. A little bit of damage traded back, but not anything to write home about. But again, just the same as the last pistol round. Both teams being quite isolated when it comes to this arch control. And actually, they are just going to wrap around. Now, if you've cleared this spot and you've seen nobody, you're going to gamble there's 2 players in pit. You should have that read, unless they've gone into apps, but you've already cleared that as well. So, Happy and RPK. RPK already managing to get one. They aren't really clearing these angles properly, but Existence, he's had enough of his team not doing the work. He's going to get them both himself. Open up the site. That's such a perfect spot. Run straight into him. Scream goes down. Sixer going to be looking to try and do more. And Devil, thank you very much, guys. Just keep pushing into my crosshair. Don't worry. Your 2 teammates failed, but I'm sure you're going to do much better.
I was about to say, so unfortunate that he dropped in. Existence. He's just been playing really well. I mean, I do not expect that kind of fragging potential coming out from him, but we saw it yesterday.
Paul does.
Paul does, yeah. He I don't know why. They had a little bit of a relationship back in the Swords days, so that might be why. A little bit biased.
Hidden romance?
Yeah.
Of course.
You know, Paul has always had a thing for Existence. Did you not know that? Do you want to end this now? Just continue with the game?
Yeah, I do, especially considering how aggressive they've just been with their wraparound arch. But, oh, this could be a problem. If they continue this way, there's going to be 3 players waiting for them on that B side of the map. Guys, you've got A. You may not realize it, but the A site is completely clear at the moment. If you go for the wraparound, you're going to be pushing into 3 players. There's not a whole lot for the CT side in this round, but they could have been a little bit lucky if they were to go that way. Now, you have to look at this as Sixer's not invested much at all. XMS has also not invested much at all. So this is one of those rounds where EnVy are basically gone, we are going to keep all of our money. We want to make sure we have as much as we can in terms of utility and maybe an AWP going into that 4th round when they go to buy. And I'm a big fan of that.
I'm happy that they've decided to do that on the CT side of things. Got a little bit scared after seeing their first half.
So close. Sixer getting Existence down to just 14 HP, but still falls. Didn't have any armor, so could have saved that into the next round, but I don't think it's the end of the world. And the Scream looking to try and tap away. Does manage to finish off another player. It's mostly SMGs being dropped at the moment, so again, it's not the end of the world. XMS will just keep on to his P250, and a couple of players will be dropped in the end for LDLC. Not the worst case, but could have done a little bit better, and they at least keep themselves the rifles.
Considering the investments made from EnVy, I think that's an okay round for them to pick up a few frags, get some money. And,
XMS actually buys armor in this one, so all that money that he saved has now just gone straight down the toilet. RPK does have an extra bit of cash. Look at your face.
I've just dropped my pen. This makes no sense.
Because again, it's one of those things like, why not put all of your eggs in that one round? Rather than going, okay, well, I bought last... Oh, Sixer just got destroyed. And so the rest of the team, Existence ruling this server at the moment.
Now let's see the armor XMS. Let's see that investment in play.
Hashtag, was it worth it? Let's find out.
Hashtag, probably not.
2 kills, and I'd say it's worth it.
Yeah.
1 kill, you've paid for the P250 and paid for the armor. As said, RPK still has a little bit of extra money. Can he get anything done? Yeah, there's one. Okay, he's almost done it. He's almost got what I would say is worth it. Okay, now things are getting a little bit out of control. Happy will go down, thankfully, for anybody supporting LDLC in this situation. Now XMS, the other toss of the coin, if he just holds on to his Kevlar here, then he's just kept all that money and got an extra kill. So if he does that, perfectly fine.
Yeah.
If not, is there anything to find?
Well.
Okay, not really a game changer.
I don't like that he found that Mac 10, because that might mean he's just going to keep a hold of that into the next round, and I'm not sure that's a good idea. But probably just picked it up to try to get some extra frags if they do decide to hunt him down, which LDLC does not want to do.
No
Obviously,
reason to.
They've got some good weapons in hand. They do not want to throw it away.
We want to take nothing from you and possibly lose something very valuable to us. But we now go back to 9-9. LDLC have got the pistol and follow-up rounds. As said, XMS does save the Kevlar, so that means he can get extra utility, and he has bought a gun. So thankfully. And this means that you look at their economy, as said, RPK save a load of money. 4 incendiaries going into the first buy round of the half is not something you ever really see. The only one pet peeve I have is that they don't have any kits.
Not a single kill.
Devil just got wrecked.
Wow.
He's down to 2 HP. We're only about 15 seconds into the round. He's actually just going to go, look, Twanu, do you want my AK? Because I'm a dead man walking at this point. 2 flashbangs hit me and I'm dead. A flashbang to the face, would that be enough?
No.
No. They should do extra damage for target practice. If you can hit someone in the face with it, it's worth it. RPK is going to catch out the pushing Alex. A solo push that didn't really warrant too much. Maniac actually going to go back to peeking a similar angle, obviously knowing that there's somebody around this spot. Hoping he can maybe find someone going aggressive or catch them on the rotations, which would be absolutely wonderful. Smoke going to go out, which will hold a couple of players here, meaning that the defense is going to be a little bit more limited when they get over towards this spot. And look at the CT spots. This really isn't ideal, but instead they catch Devil lining up nades, and the second as well on existence, meaning there's only 2 players remaining, Twanu and Maniac. They've only got 40 seconds to try and think of something to do here. And the fact is, even though they're pushing into this site, it's still a 2 versus 2. They have done 0. No, wait, they've done 2 damage, sorry. I was wrong there. A whole 2 damage onto Scream. They've got 30 seconds. Are they just going to save?
Yeah, I think the game plan there was to just lurk a little bit around, see if they could catch someone in a little bit of an offensive angle. And if they didn't find anyone, just fall back and save, which they are doing right now. 10 seconds left, and CTs are far away. So it's going to be an easy task to bring those weapons into the next round. And that's going to be the 10th round for EnVy.
Counter-terrorists win.
And not a single player loss, which obviously means more money in the bank for them. And this was super unlucky for LDLC.
Yeah, the timing absolutely wrecked them there. It could have easily gone the wrong way if there was just 3 players waiting there and Scream and Maniac go... No, not Scream and Maniac. Scream and whoever else was there with him goes pushing. But instead it just works absolutely wonderfully, and that's a bit unfortunate, but at the same time EnVy looking to re-aggress there was just perfect timing. 10-9, all that extra utility definitely helped them, and now they even have a couple of kits, so it's got even better for the EnVy side. Almost a bit of a timing kill there for Maniac, just missing the peak. But this time they are actually just going to go pushing through the smoke. They're not going to abide by the rules of this is a brick wall and it's holding us back. Instead, okay, you want to throw that deep smoke, we're just going to take Banana off you anyway. Now there's 2 players, one very low in the form of Scream.
Going for the AWP as well on Twanu. This round they decided against it, the previous buy. So let's see if that small adjustment to the team can make a big difference. Setting up towards that A-bomb site, with Devil just lurking around Banana.
And this is pretty much a wrap strategy, where they've just thrown that smoke over to deny any vision around Arch side. Interesting factor is, look at this position from Sixer. It's absolutely perfect. We'll win the duel, but now, okay, you're going to try and take that spot off as we'll try to wrap back around. And I say try because it's already failed. They've lost the 1 man in the form of Alex. The rest of the players are trying to push individually on different portions of the map. There's only 30 seconds left. Devil is trying his best to sell the fake, and he has dragged over a 3rd player, which is something at least. It means at least when they go onto the site, it's a 3 versus 2. They've got so little time to do it. Maniac, though, with the entry and the double as well. These are the sort of plays we want to be seeing from the man from Switzerland, and that may just be enough to give them a chance in this round. And Devil, very well positioned, knows exactly where XMS is, spins back around, looks for Sixer and finds him again. Individual plays coming out, this time from LDLC. It's not EnVy winning these duels, it's Devil who's woken up, and Maniac, the B site defense in the first half. And it leaves it all onto Scream, 20 HP. There's no way he can go for this.
Well, they got to be kicking themselves for that. That's amazing coming out from Maniac, and the follow-up from Devil. It's those kind of rounds that you kind of live and breathe for when you watch CS. Turnarounds, and wow, Scream goes down, loses his weapon, and EnVy doesn't really have that much money, so got to question why Scream decided to hold that angle. Probably been a little bit safer moving back into Banana.
I'm wondering if we can get the Maniac that played, you know when Kenny S left Titan? And he sort of just became the star for a bit. And that team actually did all right under Maniac being a star player. If that's what we're getting back, I'm excited. XMS! Oh, it must just feel dirty for EnVy every time that they get down to these pistols, and they've just got players who can do that. AWP goes out of the map. Devil not even thinking about going and playing on the AWP. He's just like, no, we'll get rid of it. Don't want to give that over to 6-0 or anybody else on this team. And XMS is going to go back for more. Can he find a second? No, he can't. They're waiting, expecting. Now there's only one man actually on the site itself. 6-0 will be rotating. It is, of course, just an eco round. So they haven't invested a huge amount into this one. There's still a little bit of extra armor, and 6-0... Sorry, Happy has himself a Deeg as well. And we all know what Happy can do with Deagles on the B site. Unfortunately, he's on A. No more similar clips coming, unless somebody else can do it.
They have decided to push into the B bomb side, and we got 3 EnVyUs players holding, and Scream goes big! He's got 2 frags.
He manages to get a couple with the P250, and that really turns this back. Still looking for more, but it's RPK this time, and another 2! Just like the last round, from absolutely nothing, EnVy managed to pick one up, and again, this is just the ruining of LDLC. They bring themselves some life by turning around a big round for them. And instead, the Pistols then come up massive. 4 P250 kills and a 1 Deeg like that. A ridiculous round. That's a lovely camera angle as well.
Yeah, they lined up perfectly for Scream. And, okay, we've got 3 AKs on LDLC. Will it be enough? RPK picks up 1. Exixens gets the revenge frag. They do decide to push onto that A-bomb side. Happy in a good position to get a couple more frags.
Oh, Tuano actually destroys him as well. Meaning that they do actually have this. Now, every trade at the beginning of this round was excellent for LDLC. As you said, they didn't have the right amount of rifles. Instead, they pick up a couple along the way. And now they've got 4 rifles. They've made a load of money, and the round is done. EnVy are out. They're going to save the AWP. They've still got a load of utility because it was such a fast round. And yeah, I'm glad to see them not over-aggress in this situation. It could have been a reasonable attempt to try and challenge us. In fact, they may have even won.
Yeah.
But it's not worth the risk. They're the better team, or they should be at least. Play on your own buys. You know that, okay, it's not going to happen every round where they just run up mid and try and just challenge onto RPK. It's also unlikely that if you keep doing that to RPK that he won't eventually just kill you, because he's a very talented player. And can 6... No, he can't. Okay. Tries his best to take someone down at the end. I think they do actually lose a player.
They did lose a player. There were 4 players remaining.
So did Devil die to the bomb?
Yeah. There were no frags.
Oh, this is...
Wow.
I'm expecting a fast play, that's for sure. You don't really play... You know, I'm just going to do a passive Mac 10 round, but it means they're going to go running straight up and honor. They're speeding things up. Rapid plays from LDLC straight into the clutches of Scream, but Devil still wins the battle. I question the Mac 10, and the Mac 10 will prevail. Can it be done by XMS? No, it cannot, and they found the weakness of EnVy. It's speed. They learn from Sonic. I don't know what to do in this situation, guys. Have you tried running faster? That's basically the plot line to the whole other Flash, just in case everybody was wondering.
I like Flash. It's a good show.
It is a good show, but that is still the
show.
It's still the plot of every single episode. It's like, how am I gonna fix this one?
If you run a little bit faster,
yeah, just a little bit faster. And then that'll probably do it. It's like, oh, damn, why didn't I think of that? It's been 6 seasons now.
Well, RPK trying to save his weapon. Does get 1 kill before being taken down. It's all down to Happy to try to keep that AWP. It's not going to happen. And wow, LDLC has just figured out EnVy. It's just, they just got to run them down.
I would love to have heard like the comms in that situation where Existence just goes, so they go, okay, mastermind. What plan have you got? And he goes, guys, you're going to think I'm a fool here. Like, I don't say this very often. Can we just run at them? And then everybody probably just went, yeah, all right, let's give it a go. At 2 rounds in a row, flawless. They managed to win with not only a weaker buy in the first round, but if anything, they had a weaker buy in the second round. 2 Mac 10 still in there. That was a choice. And to be honest, why not? They've sent them back to Pistols. Now, I don't want to say anything here, because I know whose buy is favoured, theoretically, and thankfully, Alex, UK Hope, Mr. EcoFrag, we've nicknamed him that over the last couple of days, has managed to do what is necessary, because although it's a bit of a joke talking about EcoFrags and saying, haha, that he's getting... Oh, stop! Stop ruining my points. It's a big deal, that's what I'm trying to say. It's still very important that you get all of these frags and you do it in a way that you're not just losing so many players. Okay, that's ridiculously ambitious. You know that I've got this deagle. It's really difficult to aim with, like moving with the deagle. You're never going to hit a shot. But I'm going to try jumping headshot over a wall.
I mean, if you had a Tech 9, I guess it would have worked.
Well, yeah, 100% accuracy, right? Maybe with Julie's as well.
Hasn't the new patch come in as well on the
Yeah, the first bullet is more accurate.
No, but on the 5.7.
Yeah, it's more accurate on there as well.
Oh,
if you're standing still.
Standing still, yeah, that's the key.
Which is important because but that's fine. It's still probably going to be very difficult in certain positions, like maybe Mirage, A ramp. I think like you're normally standing still anyway. So we'll see. I'm sure we're still going to see a lot of exciting pistol kills, which I don't want removed. I don't just want the pistols to be worthless. And especially the deagle. I love all these just 1Ds because I know that I can't do it. Anything I can't do is impressive. No, that's not true at all. Either way, T-side going back to Speedy Gonzalez, running straight into the site. It's already going to be that MAC-10 doing work again, and I thought it was the Tech 9, but it's actually not. It's more from that MAC-10. Sixer manages to get one, but he is backing away, and it is happening. Map 1, the map which we all thought was going the way of EnVyUs, is now starting to be really called into question. It's going to be 14 rounds for LDLC. Weapons are going to be saved, so the money is still going to be there. They'll have enough to buy, but this is very impressive, and it's, as said, like it's a basic strategy, but if they can't stop it, there's no reason to change. And I always hate when I see that from teams, and it's like, okay, we've gone B 5 rounds, we should try A, but you won all 5 rounds on B.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but they won't expect it now. It's like, you are correct, but if ain't broke, don't fix it. I think that's a very British way for just being lazy most of the time. So
Thing is, though, this round LDLC didn't go.
why'd he die to the bomb?
Oh god, yeah.
Like, it's not that they've got loads of money, but existence, it's still just like, maybe I can sneak a little bit closer to the bomb. No, that's not how bombs work.
He's
then
just
again,
trying it out.
I'm sure that standing about 20 feet away, but like, if I stand in this corner, I can see the bomb. I'm sure it won't hurt. Like, that's the logic of Inferno.
Yeah, basically. Well, we got a pulse, and I'm guessing it's going to be from Envy.
You would hope so.
Well,
Either that. I always like... See, there's two things I like. I like a BM pause, where you're winning by enough that you just go, we're going to take a pause just to annoy you. I like it even more when somebody BM pauses and then they lose, which happened to Tengri. I think they were like 14-4 up and they took a pause, and then they lost 16-14. It was one of the funniest things I've ever watched, because it was like, okay, if you're going to do the like cocky pause, fine. But if you then, you've got to finish the game. You can't then go, haha, we're winning, and then lose. Like, that's just the worst thing ever.
well, honestly, I think grabbing a pause when you've won 4 rounds in a row,
Calm you down.
it's viable. I mean, it doesn't have to be BM, so it might actually be LDLC. On 14, it's kind of a, it's where you you don't want me to say that word on stream. Choke. Is it fine? Will you allow me?
Don't say the C word. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, 14, 15 is always a choke point for many teams. So
So you're saying this is the anti-choke mechanism?
yeah, calm down, boys. We got this in the bag. We got 4 rounds in a row. And also, what I wanted to talk about is LDLC. They had these fast rounds. And
10 grand,
okay,
7,900,
Yeah.
2 Mag-10s.
they were going for it again. So this is going to be a fast push. But they didn't do a fast push the previous round. They did set up before going in. Oh, this is going to be lovely
they're
for
still
them.
going. I love it. Scream. Can he do anything here? Yes, they can. They finally shot them down. Not this time. The deep, or yeah, the close Molotov, I should say, slowing them enough, and I think that did actually catch them off guard a little bit. And that's an important adjustment. This is another thing we spoke about with EnVy on Cobble. They've realized their flaws, and it's taken them a bit longer than I probably would have liked, especially when it's running Mac-10s. But that Molotov was enough, and then they just used a little bit of extra utility, and the crossfire worked great. Like, that was it. So they found the holes, and the thing is, like, I think LDLC were just doing the sort of, okay, if this keeps working, let's keep doing it. Now that it's not worked, let's slow it down. And the other thing as well that you have to remember is, if you see all these fast rounds, a lot of the time you are going to waste a lot of utility early because you're scared of fast rounds. The thing I'm liking from EnVy is that's not what they've done. They've actually held on to quite a lot of utility early. They've gone, okay, we're going to call your bluff. You're not going to do that again because you just got destroyed. So we'll hold on to our utility. We'll keep at least enough that we can still slow you down in late rounds where you're going to expect us to have nothing.
Smart play coming out from EnVy. And as you can see, LDLC this time around has decided to buy up a little bit better arsenal.
Scream has an AWP.
That is something I personally don't like.
He's been changing his game recently. He said that he's learning to spray. Maybe he's learning to AWP already. Gets himself the first kill with the AWP. Can't quite hit the second, and now he's getting Molotov'd out, but he does eventually get it. And he's just standing in the flames. No fear, but XMS goes down with absolutely nothing done. Here goes Maniac catching the rotations. And what started so well with the Scream AWP play has turned into a 6er 1 versus 3. Now, he's not normally the clutch meister. I have seen him clutch around with just a Molotov killing 2 players. It was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. There's 3 this time, and I don't think they're all going to stand on the incendiary throws. Push back into the site. He needs somebody to peek and give him a frag. Alex just holding and takes his head off. 15 rounds for LDLC. Map 1 maybe in their court, and the money is not going to be ideal here. I don't know. See, that is where, like we talked about XMS, like not having the best of games. That's where it does make a massive difference, because Scream gets 2 kills in that corner. Yes, he gets burnt out. XMS at least needs to get 1.
Yeah, he got about 50% damage to one of the players, and that's it. And you can see we got a pistol on Scream this round. You do not want him to be sitting on a pistol. Well, he's decent with it, but you still want him to have an M4. But it's
crunch time. And there we go, RPK. Up when it matters, but Alex very quick to trade, but happy there as well. I think he was actually dropping his gun in that situation, so he's now switched over, picked up the AK. They're now going to set into this B site. Nade's going to be thrown out. A few counter nades available. Scream, he's in that smoke, up close, trying to sneak past, looking for Devil. Gets him as well. That's an AK into the hands of Scream. That's not what you want to be doing if your team LDLC Existence is going to be holding. He saved them in a couple of rounds, but he can't spot him. The flash catches perfectly in XMS. There we go. This time he gets a kill. It's on to Twanu. 1 versus 3, and he's surrounded. There's no running away this time, Twanu. If he can kill Happy, there's a chance, but it's such a nice angle. He's going to be waiting around the corner, not somewhere you're going to check instantly, and Happy takes off his head. Decapitated, 15-13. Is the comeback possible, or is it real?
It might be real. A lot of money still on the LDLC squad. Let's see if they do invest into an AWP. Yes, they do. That's interesting. If they lose this one, then there's a high chance of EnVy being able to pull it back to 15. Now then, Sixer gets denied by the Molo.
I would have liked them to go for just another run play.
Yeah, actually. I mean,
just like throw it back in every once in a while. I do like a lot of the times you see a strategy that works wonderfully, and then it gets stopped once, and then that's it. You never do it again, and you think, why? It worked 3 of the 4 times.
Yeah.
Like, statistically, we you know we love maths here at ESG, but it works. Either way, they've got the opening pick anyway. The closing round maybe looking possible. Happy has something to say about it. Finds one. He's got support from Sixer on the AWP as well. Back to a man advantage for them, and a rotation has already been called as XMS now sits in the back lines, but not for long. Devil, the ex-EnVy player, is going to finish off the new boy on the block, or the newer boy on the block. Still been in here quite a bit now.
Good rotation, though, from Sixer. They knew they got a kill in Archway, and it seems like they're leaning towards going for the wrap.
He just needs to get 1 and then fall away. That's enough in this situation. They are going to come rushing around the corner, and he misses the shot. Has to be careful, because Devil was already close enough. But Maniac, he's got the entry onto the site. It leaves Sixer and Scream now in a retake situation. They are going to be on the spot very, very quickly. So it means that they've got much more of a chance. Both players have kits, but the utility is so limited. A couple of flashbangs. In fact, both teams don't really have much whatsoever. Devil hiding in apps. Probably expecting somebody to come in through mid, but both players should have been spotted. Twanu is going to be left blind. Maniac, as said, he's been incredible in his performance so far. Looking to try and spot out from pit. Sixer's going to be coming his way. Taps, does damage, spots the head of Scream, and he will be able to open up, but he's quickly traded. Sixer turns it into a 1 versus 1. The 2 AWPers of the team, and Twanu will finish the first map. LDLC take the pick of EnVy, and they will be heading on to Overpass, the map that we actually bet on them to take. We'll be back after a short break with the desk.
Be focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
A very warm welcome back to ESG Tours Mykonos Qualifier, live from the EFRAG studios here in Belgrade. We're going to get some post-match in just a moment with Simon and Tom after a dominating victory from LDLC on EnVyUs map, remember, as well, and we'll look forward to map 2 in a few moments' time. Before we get there, though, quick reminder for you, we're running a couple of competitions. Earlier on, you heard us talk about the fact that we're offering the chance for 2 people, one from NA and one from EU, to come to Mykonos as VIPs for the grand finals of ESG Tours Mykonos. Also, up for grabs right now, $4,000 worth of skins. There's a Dragon Lore in the mix there as well. Details at the bottom of your screen. Make sure you're going into that for a chance to win some of the exclusive skins, courtesy of our friends, of course, at PV Pro. Right, time to get into match number 2 very shortly, but let's just break it down from game number 1, because it's a very interesting game, Tom, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In the sense that when you looked at it at half-time, you went, well, 960 side, Envy, that looks pretty decent to us, and then somehow they lose on the CT side. You expect them to be much stronger.
Well, it just seemed that LDLC went back to some pretty basic strategies. They picked up the pace, and we gave props in the past to just the ability to adapt for Envy. And they did adapt in the end. It just took a little bit too long. Like, that was 3 rounds in a row where you're rushed by Mac 10s, and the entry kills always go the way of LDLC, and you just think, that's not good enough. Like, you have to be, okay, 1 round, I can give you that. 2 rounds, that's a bit of a push. If it happens 3 times, you just think, okay, now you just need to be throwing in these sort of Molotovs, slowing them down. And when they did, they actually won the round almost flawlessly just by absolutely destroying them. But that was at the point.
Rounds.
Yeah, that was at the point where it was so close to the end of the game. And then you have to look at even just individual performances. Right at the beginning, there was a round where 2 players were lost for LDLC. Maniac just walks into the A site, takes off 2 heads, and then Devil does the exact same thing on the rotators. And you just think, that's the sort of plays we need to be seeing from LDLC if they are going to take this series. And then on the other side, someone like XMS, he just had a really bad series. It didn't go his way. It happens to everyone, but he has to come back on this next map, because if he's as far down, like even when you have someone like Scream who can just pick up 4 headshots with a Deagle and win you around,
but
it doesn't matter.
He's not going for headshots anymore, Tom. He's told us that.
Yeah, no,
he's not focusing on that. Simon, it's a similar kind of style to what happened with LDLC yesterday on Cobble, in that LDLC did a few new things that Envy were kind of like, whoa, we're a bit uncomfortable here. We don't know how to cope with this. And then they figured it out. They did react quite quickly. Too slow, too late today.
Yeah, it's really weird to see that from them. I mean, that was one of the things that I was most impressed with Envy yesterday. And I just feel like this game came down to the fact that a couple of the players on Envy didn't show up at all. It was down to individual performances, and also the fact that they took that long to adjust. But saying that, they made the adjustment, it worked, and LDLC changed up their play from there. So it kind of worked for them, but in the end, the normal plays coming out from LDLC was enough to stop Envy.
You highlighted money management as a critical part of their game that was a little flawed yesterday at times. What did you make of that in the first game?
It was better today, for sure. On the CT side, they stopped doing that kind of investment. So obviously, you need more utility holding that B-bomb site.
Okay, let's take a look at our second map as we get into our second matchup here. It is 1-0, of course, to LDLC, and Envy now move on to LDLC's map, and that's the critical part of moving on to Overpass, isn't it? In that LDLC have picked this as their map.
Yeah.
Is this now looking like a 2-0 to LDLC?
It's sort of crazy to think of it when you go from the beginning of the day and how, like, well, yesterday when you say they got absolutely destroyed, like, it didn't look like a sort of good performance from them at all. Their CT side was really poor on Cobble. But they've not only won the map, but they also had the choice between Nuke, which they've been very good on, and this map. And they've gone for Overpass. They destroyed Hellraisers on this map yesterday. It was like 16-5. That was actually what put them over Hellraisers in the end. And you sort of got the added thing of, like, they just look like they're playing very well. It's worrying. And you can also say that...
Worrying for who, Tom? It's not worrying for LDLC.
Yeah, Envy. It's worrying for Envy.
You sounded for a moment like an Envy fanboy.
No. I don't have an Envy hat, so I can't be.
You don't?
No.
That's surprising. I thought you had a hat for every team.
No, it's only when
it's
when I go to that country, I buy a hat of the team that's in that country, and I haven't done an event in France. So someone bring me to France, and I will buy an LDLC hat because they're clearly the best team in France at the moment. Bold claim. Or a G2 hat.
All right.
Okay. Well, they are the best team in this game, in this series at the
So
moment.
far.
Simon, are they going to take this 2-0? You said earlier on it favoured Envy in terms of the way that the veto went. We thought, yeah, okay, they take Inferno, then okay, maybe they lose Overpass, but then Cobble they should win again because they won yesterday. But now this is looking tough for Envy to get through.
Absolutely. After seeing the performances coming out from LDLC on Overpass yesterday, I'm starting to worry a little bit for Envy. But then again, if Envy are able to pull off a map victory here, I think Envy's going to go all the way. Obviously, we saw them on Cobblestone yesterday. They only played Cobblestone yesterday. They were insane on it. And also we have to think about the fact that Envy will have seen LDLC playing versus Hellraisers on Overpass yesterday, so hopefully they got some sort of anti-strats.
Okay, well, let's find out, because Game 2 is almost upon us. I'm hearing that the players are about to go live, so Simon and Tom, take us into the game.
Yeah, already looks like we got a first kill, so it is going to be the CT side starting off strong with the first pick, but they've already taken an awful lot of damage in the meantime. Sixer already seemed to know his spot, jumping through, but still, it's actually going to be RPK just standing behind him. So using him as bait, and RPK with a big pistol around there. 3 kills from the connector, shutdown of LDLC, and that's a good start, a strong start. Now, are we going to see the risk? Every single time we've seen a risk so far. Here we go. SMG, 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 Scout, Scream, what are you doing? You don't have enough to get anything other than so SMG as well. So if anything, I'm looking at this buy. Who do you think it has got the better range in this situation? Range.
Oh yeah, the range. Yeah, in terms of that, obviously LDLC. But I was about to say Sixer has got the best range, and he opens up the round with a nice headshot, takes down Alex. Oh wow!
Okay.
Second kill coming in, and that's probably gonna tell the rest of the players over at LDLC do not push long, and we'll see Devil rotating back to his teammates in middle. Saying that, we actually got Tuanu going up to on long.
Okay.
God damn it, Tuanu, you've seen Sixer in action. He's on fire. He's got that long-range sniper rifle. What are you doing? And as we can see, both remaining players from LDLC also decides to push up here, and they've dropped the bomb.
Oh, it looks like Devil may actually think, okay, we could probably use that. Like, it's about 50% of what the game is. Is going to be the push out from Scream, though. Clearly long range, he still has that benefit, and a flawless round. That is magnificent. Did they even take a point of damage?
I do not think so. And a lot of money being earned there by Envy. Clean shots from Sixer.
It's so satisfying watching Scout kills. Because you literally, to have an instant kill, it has to be a headshot. Yeah. So unless you're against armorless players, which he is now, so... Could it be even more Scout kills for Sixer? It's not really the gun that's going to make you the most money. Like, all of these SMGs are bought for. It's like, okay, we're going to make some money. Sixer, can you please stop killing everyone? Like, we're not going to make any money if you keep doing that. So, but guys, they keep running at me. I just want the headshots.
I want frags.
So, and Scream going, did you just say headshot? Like, I have a patent on that. You can't say that word while you're in this team. You're not allowed to say headshots anymore.
Scream, game of patience. If you go up that ladder, you're a dead man, Maniac. Sat in a good position to hold it.
Rest in peace, Scream. No headshots this round, at least. Not the worst weapon in the world to give over to Maniac. An unarmored MP9 clutch. Probably words that have never been said before.
Nope. So
there's a reason for that. It's going to be very difficult for him to kill people without his gun being thrown to the ceiling. And actually, he's opted, he said, do you know what, I actually would rather keep my P250. Here you go, Alex, you can have the MP9. So he's thrown away that SMG, and I kind of agree with him in this situation. It's probably easier the other way around. Late nades, of course, the one benefit of going for these SMGs on Envy's point is they have a load of utility, and they've held it very late in this round. RPK still has a full set. And XMS is only just starting to throw a few weapons out. Here comes a flash straight back in return, but they line up. It's actually going to be RPK to kill a teammate, but I feel like he rectified the situation. 3 slaughtered, every single kill coming in off SMGs, so that's a tasty 3 grand into the bank of Envy. Losing a couple of players, not the end of the world. Wouldn't it be interesting is if you got a kill, like they reverse it? So like, if, say I killed someone on my team with an XM, I would actually lose $900.
That would be hurtful.
And then if you kill someone with an AWP, you don't lose as much.
Yeah, that's fine then, because I'm an AWPer, so that makes sense.
Well, if you're an AWPer, then surely anyone's an AWPer.
Oh, wow. Absolute assholes.
Oh, here we go, Maniac. We're back to fast plays again. He's running straight out onto this B site, but he loses the battle. Spray through, not going to connect. And see, this is where the problem begins, because they haven't like fast pushed as a team. Okay, Existence still finds the trade, but it's going to be too quick back from Envy. They've taken a double man advantage, leaving Devil trying to push into B, Twanu trying to find the bomb. It's a game of Where's Wally, but it's highlighted on the map. And,
Oh,
okay,
wow.
XMS even peeking into the angle. So we saw him with, I think it was 2, maybe 3 kills in the whole first half of the last game. Done that in this round. Pretty good start.
Yeah, that's a big thing to happen for Envy right now, obviously, having a 5th player actually doing some fragging. And interestingly enough, this is what we saw from LDLC on yesterday when they played Hellraisers on this map. Maniac would just, well, he would just run like a maniac straight into that B-bomb site by himself. But let's not overshadow Twanu. He's in a 1 versus 4 and he's decided to go for it. He's picked up 1 kill. Sixer.
Simple.
He can snipe close range as well.
Yeah, not the most difficult shot of his career, but oh, just look at that scoreboard. 1-1-1-0-0. So, yeah, not the best start in the world. Giving a lot of economy over to Envy as well, just because they're not killing anyone, which it does make things a lot easier to make money if you're not dying at all. But in this round, I quite like these sort of Antica rounds where you're just investing a little bit more into utility. Like, they've got quite a lot of nades over on LDLC. They have a chance to sort of execute onto the site, clear a lot of angles, and the P250, it seems for them at least, has come back into fashion. Okay, you've weakened the Tech-9's run and gun, so we'll go for a weapon where you haven't done that yet. You haven't got to the P250, so we'll try and keep it. It's still 1 shot to the face if you're close enough, and that can be pretty effective. Here come all the nades, smoking off, sectioning these players out of position. It leaves RPK a little bit isolated, but he's got support from XMS, and the spray comes in once again. Not multiple kills this time. And actually, Maniac again, this P250 just seems to be on fire, and that's an awful spray from Happy. He gets taken down from Existence. Somehow, this is working. Existence goes big again. And now Sixer is left on his lonesome. Manages to find 1. Pretty sure that was through the wall, but let's just ignore that fact. Existence and Maniac. Nice nade. Dunks Maniac down to just 38 HP, although only the pistol will really benefit from that. The AWP is not going to be too much of a difference anyway. Quite aggressive peaks being taken, and Maniac gets a 3rd kill in this round. And, well, there you go. That's quite a big increase in frags. You've gone from having, actually, I think 3 in the whole of your team to Maniac getting 3 alone with a P250 and Kevlar.
The thing is, you were talking about it earlier in that round, I also like the fact that they've invested so much into utility, and they'd spent that utility, but it kind of got negated by the utility coming in from Envy. But then again, they can just run in and it just...
Well, they get close. That was the benefit. Oh, here we go. Scream, Deagle, once again. Can he do some more damage with it? The rest of the team pretty much have a 4-buy, so they've just said, Scream, look, you're a little bit expendable in this situation, so try and do something crazy. Alex, being a Brit, of course, doesn't like anything crazy. He likes things simple, and well, it is simple in this round. He's already picked up 2 kills. The aggression is met by further aggression, and they're all dead because of it. XMS, last man left alive. Now, we wanted him to step up. If he was to win this round, I would be singing all of his praises.
Yeah.
But that's mainly because he's in a 1v5, has no idea where any of these players are, other than if they are still back, and Twanu will take his head off. A win from Pistols turns into a flawless round for LDLC, so their economy has gone through the roof, and normally when one team's economy goes up, somebody's has to go down, and that leaves Envy with not much to play with whatsoever.
So we've gone a little bit in the direction of math and physics, have we?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Sure. All right.
We're not using apples in this circumstance.
Well, investment from Envy, going for armor and pistols. Nothing too crazy coming out from them. Got that player on long, combined with a player in toilets. And Scream getting that up and close with that pistol. Could be lethal. He picks up 1.
Surely not. Okay, he's run out of bullets. There you go. Existence going, oh, you want to use that tree, that piece of wood for cover? It doesn't work like that, Scream. Straight through it. And this is one of those rounds where Envy, again, they've sort of mid-bought. Now, they're doing a hell of a lot of damage, so if they can maybe pull this round off, okay, I've got nothing to say against them.
Well, I think they kind of went full-on force buy.
But some of them didn't, though. I don't think they did, at least. Can we look at money? Just very quickly. Yeah, they've still got 1,700, 1,400.
So that's a weird mix buy.
We'll see. RPK. He does have P250 and armor. They're all buying similar, so maybe they just want to keep everything in. He's doing a hell of a lot of damage. Tuanu picks up the P250 himself, and RPK is an absolute god with this weapon. It doesn't matter how much they invested. We don't care anymore because they win the round based off pistols. The P250 is the new king. You heard it here first. Probably not, but whatever. I'm claiming it anyway. That's going on my CV. And yeah, that's 2 rounds in a row now where we've just, or not 2 rounds in a row because it was a couple ago, but P250s have just won rounds.
Yeah. I like the fact that they're back in action. I'm getting a little bit tired of the Tech 9.
Cough. P250 nerf. Cough.
Yeah. Stop ruining our weapons, Valve.
But it's probably just that they find out now that it's so much more effective.
Wow.
Sixer! He's not happy with just one. He peeks in for a second. The head goes of Alex, and they're left with 2 men gone. A mere 30 seconds into the round. Sixer is looking good on this map. And that's very important considering how the first one went. EnVy expecting to take it. That's at a minimum, it has to be said, but here we go. What can the T's do to turn the tide? They've only managed to string a couple. Now, one of them was completely clean. So that's something. But then they lost an early round, earlier than they should have done because of the P250s, and that's going to do a nasty hit to their economy as well. So,
Well, they still have a lot of time, but it looks like they want to go over towards the B bomb site where we can see RPK and XMS set up in a good crossfire position. And if they do decide to rush through long, I think they might be in for a world of hurt. Let's see what kind of utility goes through here for LDLC.
So it's just a nice little setup crossfire, but it's not even needed. RPK sprays down 2. Happy will finish the round. 6-2 up now for the CT side, and well, this second shot was what was absolute filth. It's just like, okay, you want to challenge me, to say goodbye.
When you're faster than the game itself, it's a good sign. I mean, Sixer, he's not been playing bad throughout the qualifier, but I kind of feel like he's stepped up massively this game. It's pretty much closed down A long.
It's just like you don't go there anymore. Just don't go that way. At least till the later portions of the round. Now it's going to be Deagles. Don't know why they haven't just gone for P250s and maybe Kevlar, because that seems to be the better buy at the moment. They're ignoring their own meta. Scream. I always like, sort of we saw Angel do this. It didn't work very well for them, but the rounds they actually managed to win were based off this. A little bit more aggression, and then one player back with the AWP to support. So there you go, Sixer still doing work. Knows where one of these last 2 players is. Flashbang and just runs in. Actually flashes behind himself so that then he can peek and it doesn't blind him at all. Smart stuff. Very basic thing to do, but still a lot of players don't do it. You see players blind themselves all the times or flash in front, so then they're still peeking after the flash. But Devil, Deagle, 4 players to find. Scream is tagged, so that will only be, maybe even a leg shot will be enough to finish him off. Rest of the team, however, it's all about that face. Ruin their looks.
Decides to go for that one entry point where they have had 0 frags so far in the game. We'll have to see. Devil wants to crack that. Will he get the kill? Yes, he will. Will he get the second, though?
It's actually only 6 a hit. So, okay, it's all theory now. But if he had got that kill, it could have been a bomb plant, which is quite interesting, really, because you have the bomb down on A. Like, why split? You could maybe have one watching the flank. That's understandable. But there was actually still 2 players just waiting around that B side of the map. Either way.
Did he not have the bomb on him, though?
He may have done.
I think he did.
Okay,
so,
that's my bad then.
If not, I completely agree with you. We saw it yesterday. I don't remember what team it was, but I kind of feel like it was EnVy back then as well.
They're just confident in their players. 7-2 up, and LDLC have called a pause, and rightly slow. They had there's sort of 2 rounds in the middle where it was like, okay, they kick-started with the pistols, and then they win a flawless round. You'll think, now they're here to play, and they then lose the next few. 1 to pistols themselves, and that could have been the point that sort of just demoralizes them. I know that if I had a full buy and P250s is enough to break me,
it does make me very angry, and well, that's why I'm not a pro player. Also the fact that I'm terrible at the game and I can't aim, but let's ignore that fact. It's mainly just because I get angry. Otherwise, I would be, of course, a pro.
Absolutely. I've seen you in game. Terrific player. Just playing as well as Devil is now. He's up to 1 frag so far this half. So we've seen a lot of good plays coming out from him throughout the qualifier, but he's
This is supposed to be Devil's revenge.
Yep. So far, not so much.
He wants to send them to hell, not Mykonos. That's not the idea.
Well said.
PK spots them out. Going to have aggressive pushes coming in. Maniac's able to trade, but XMS doing much better in this series, but goes down. The jinx is real. Leaves it into a 2v2. Happy and Sixer trying to get back into the site. It's Maniac and Alex. Now, Maniac, as said, he has been the star of this LDLC team pretty much throughout the whole tournament so far. Yesterday and the first map. Alex has been a little bit more inconsistent, but he has still been putting up numbers at least as the day went on. So if anything, he should be getting into his groove right about now. Molotov will force out Maniac, but he actually peaks just in time to get a kill. Leaves it into the 1v1, and Alex will finish. So LDLC back. Their money, it's not going to be ideal, but neither is EnVyUs.
I want to touch upon Maniac's play that round. Like, first of all, he positions himself in a way that he hears the rotation going all the way from B short and through CT. So that gives the information that there's no one coming in from behind. You just have to watch CT. And then again, he gets Molotov. He waits the exact amount of seconds that he can to pop out and get that kill. That was beautiful play from Maniac and enabled them to get that round win.
Such an important kill. Now, EnVy have actually wasted a little bit of extra money again. Now, if you, can we see the scoreboard? I'm pretty sure they have half bought once more, which I'm a little more okay with because they have money. But at the same time, you have to remember, so you got armor, that's 1,000. Then the extra 700 of the dig, and then you also have a flash. So you basically just spent all the money you're going to make back in the next round anyway, which is a little bit weird, but we'll see if they can do it. Scream definitely thinks they can. Goes for a second, but can't quite do it. Sixer there as well. They've not gone for P250s this time, although RPK has. They actually dropped the Deagle. I saw it, and he was like, nah, I want P250. It's a better gun. Maniac opens things up. Happy, still with the dig, but he can't get a second. No one can at the moment for EnVy. It's all about the one and done. And there's only one left. It's XMS. He's got 3 players to find. He's going to be pushing into that trusty place called Long. Bomb's actually not planted, is it? Or is it?
It shouldn't be. Well, yeah, it should be, but considering the timer, it really shouldn't. And there we go, they picked it up.
Oh, they were just confused. Maybe they thought someone was still hiding there. They got caught up by a couple of angles. Devil, they don't need the bomb. They don't need it anyway. They're just going to take his head off instead. 7-4. So the pause comes in. And we see a few rounds in a row now for LDLC, or a couple. A couple, not a few. A few is 3 or more for anybody who doesn't know that. I don't know why I've just explained what a few means. It's a bit of a... Well, see, that's my level of analysis. This is why I'm doing the play-by-play.
Foreigners like myself, we like to learn language. It's fine. Okay, back into the game, and we got Sixer on the AWP, and as we've seen, he's been owning up everything at Long this time around. He's got Scream pushing in offensively. So he's going to have the backup he needs if the push does come in, and Alex is going to be the first one to pop around the corner. He goes down. The trade, oh wow, goes back and forth.
I'm quite surprised he's allowed to get a second shot off there without Existence actually running for the hills. Now, once again they challenge Long, once again they come out with a disadvantage, so I don't want to say avoid it, but maybe go at it a different angle, like try and go through toilets first, take control of that, and then you can get close to that AWP which has been causing you so much havoc. Instead, just facing it at long range, just going, hey Sixer, did you just want a few chances to keep shooting at us? No, okay, that's fine. Hey, he'll take that all day. But,
yeah,
back to B. Once again. Pushing in, XMS facing the wrong way, goes down, RPK, whoa, that's just a couple. One of them completely blind. Can he get the third as well? Wonderful stuff. The tank is back in action, and he's firing off.
So RPK picked up a few now, right? I got that right. Okay, just checking, thank you very much. And there we can see RPK getting the few kills he needs.
Stop
to
it.
Pick up 8-4, and EnVy back in it. And as you can see, LDLC has spent pretty much every single dollar in their bank account.
Tank is top at the moment.
Yeah, of course he is. He's a beast. All right.
Doing well for himself, and it's nice to see. I think there was something else that Paul said. We need to stop saying things that Paul say, because he's normally wrong.
Yeah, normally.
Normally. Look, it's sort of like what Anders does sometimes, where if you just say enough you say many things, you predict a lot of things, eventually a couple of them will be right.
Having a dig at Anders, are we?
I think that was actually a Thorin video. I'll just steal other people's jokes now, it's much better.
Yeah. All right. Only
High
Devil with
success
the AK now for LDLC. But they are able to get up pretty close onto that A-bomb site before they start pushing.
I like this from Scream, just using the edge of the smoke. Of course, if it fades, he's just standing in the open, but actually going to go aggressive in behind them. Sprays one, but Maniac's there as well, and Devil actually finds an entry using that rifle. Happy just holds on and tries to get someone to peek the angle. He's like, no, they're coming. Okay, Existence will just get a free kill. And that now leaves an AWP into the hands of Alex, leaving XMS and RPK. The pistols have proven to be so powerful in this game, but can XMS turn the tide? The bomb's not planted as of yet, however, Maniac is still going to do the work alongside of Alex. It's another round that's based mainly off pistols, and once again it works.
And once again, I want to point out the positioning of Maniac. He's just putting himself in the greatest of positions, enabling getting important frags for his team. I mean, because of that position, I mean, Scream backstabbing 3 players, that's always going to be dangerous for your team, isn't it? But it's a team game. It's a team game.
Well, without Maniac in that spot, they lose the round.
Yeah.
So, again, just small details, but yeah, that one kill made a massive difference. And a little bit unfortunate for Scream as well, because I'm sure he sat in that position going, yep, no, I've got this one sorted.
Yeah.
And then behind, there's no way there's anybody else, right? But we're on to P250s. Now, there's no armor behind them this time. That doesn't mean I'm not worried for LDLC, because both these teams, it has to be said, versus pistols, they have been atrocious, which some of it's their fault, maybe not so much all of the time. You've got to learn to just clear out these players, use your utility wisely to make sure they can't get these close range angles, and here is Happy, but only one. Again, that seems to be the case. I think it's only the tank who's been able to get a lot of multi-kills with the pistol so far. He saved them a couple of rounds, 8-6. High potential for an 8-7. They do have enough money to buy in this situation, but it's not going to have an AWP behind it. The Sixer, I don't even think will have a rifle. Unless he bought before, I noticed, but that would have meant he had about 8k. So yeah, he's gone for a scout. To be fair, the way he's been playing with it, that may not be too much of a detriment, but the man versus him, Tuanu, has an AWP, and he's actually going to switch up his spot, which I don't think his spot on long has been broken at all. But it's more of supporting Scream in this situation, and we'll see if they can actually take that aggression. No, they can't. Already losing his life, and I'd quite like to see him fall back here, because it's going to be quite difficult to hit this close range. Does actually hit the body shot. Can he get anything more? That's unfortunate. Alex down to 6 HP, but a 2-man advantage now for this T side.
It's a risky play coming out from them, and the second they get caught off guard, there's no chance for Sixer to fall back. He won't have the time. So dealing that much damage onto 2 players is not a bad job from him. It leaves Happy and RPK with a chance in this.
You have to look at this as well from the CT side, where you see XMS pushing, and people may question why in this situation, but they're so far down in the round. A lot of the time, you feel like you have to make some sort of audacious play, and it's not always the right choice, but you can't really blame the players for wanting to try and turn the round back around. Especially if you can take water control and get yourself to hold rotations a little more aggressively, it can be a wonderful fact. Instead, it's going to be a 5 versus 2. Again, it's a P250 kill. Is there someone who can work out how many P250 kills we've had in this game? Because I think it may be more than rifles at this point. RPK will get 1 for his troubles and put himself at the top fragger in the server alongside Maniac, who's 1 behind. But it does mean that an 8-7 ensues. And considering they were, what, 7-2 up? I feel like LDLC have made a pretty impressive comeback, and their tactical pause, you can't put it all down to that, but it does seem to be the turning point.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super impressed by LDLC. I mean, going up 1-0 in terms of map, then going on to your map, and then, like, you're 2-7 down. That's not going to feel great. You do 1 pause, you collect yourself, make a couple of adjustments, and then you're just back into the game. So let's see if Envy has got something cooked up for us on the T side. I mean, there's a big chance they have something. got to give it to Maniac. He's playing really well.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
But the Battle of the Ops obviously goes in the way of Sixer. He's been playing really well for his team, shutting down long pretty much every single round, except for that one time he decided to go offensive. And you were touching upon it as it was happening. Like it's one of those, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And like, I genuinely don't understand why people always try to play it so smart. Like, okay, let's try to catch them off balance. Why? What we're doing is working.
Yes.
It's just super frustrating to see happening. But anyways, we're back into it. Second half of the second map. EnVyUs with a slight lead. And they need to pick up this map for a chance to go through to Mykonos.
This would be massive for LDLC to get to a 200,000 euro tournament. It's not something we've seen them at for a while. They haven't been like sort of up there. And, well, here we go. Scream at least wants to deny them. He wants to be in sunny Mykonos. Existence, however, will turn things back. 2 headshots from the in-game leader, leaving it into a 4 versus 3 bomb drop, but he will just give it up. He's going to fall back to the sides, and I think that's a smart decision. It's not really in a defendable spot. They couldn't get there quick enough, and they'll just take them out of advantage. Again, seems like they're playing much smarter than potentially their opposition are at the moment.
Only thing I kind of didn't like from LDLC there is Alex pushing a little bit offensive. Obviously, it is to gain information, but you've got a man advantage, Alex. Falls back, and rightfully so. EnVyUs, on the other hand, they decide to push into the B-bomb site.
Oh, it is eventually going to be a kill for Maniac. A few missed shots, but he rectifies. Hits 2 in the end, and did they not check barrels when running into the site?
Kind of feels like they didn't.
Because he was actually standing as well. It's not even like he was doing the sort of crouch and duck your head so that you can't be seen. It was just, I'm here. No one can. I don't know why I did a hand motion when no one can actually see me other than you. It's like this, Simon. You know, it's like this. It's like this.
You will always be an asshole, Tom.
Yeah, always.
I'll always like you for it. Anyways, we got fully invested Envy.
It's in your name, but it's in my nature.
Moving on. 8-8. LDLC has brought this back. After Envy started off the map so well.
Oh, we've got a Tech 9. I'm surprised. Which is a sentence I never thought I would say, because lots of people have dropped off, but it can still deliver. RPK. I think he's going to have to just put something about the P250 in his name soon, because this is getting ridiculous. It is just going to be trades back and forward, and somehow, if you look at the weaponry, it's actually looking like Envy are in a decent position here. Now, I would quite like to see Sixer give the FAMAS to Happy because he has armor, and then have the Deagle because he doesn't. But at this point, it's all about sort of preference, because he's so low that the armor may not make a difference. Like, he's not going to get aim punched, he's going to get killed.
Yeah. I think keeping it on Sixer will be a good idea, considering he's been playing really well. So
mainly with scoped weapons, though.
Of course, but the confidence is still there. And they've decided to rotate around towards A, which is not a good idea looking at LDLC's position.
See, long is completely clear. Maniac's actually pushing further in. This comes down to Devil. There's only 25 seconds left. If he can drop these players, this could be it. Gets one. The flash goes over, though, and XMS is able to trade. That is enough. And look at the deep position at the moment from Happy. He's getting all the way into bank. He's so low on HP, though. Maniac has the rifle, and actually he's going to sneak past. Jumps up, almost loses because of the jump, and now just goes towards that bomb. Can't find it at the moment, just going to look to tap it, and Happy hits the headshot. An important, an integral kill from the in-game leader of EnVyUs, but it is enough. 9-8, they break back, and now let's see, will LDLC just go straight for the force buy? Was, of course, they will. They've been P250 gods, pistol prowess all the way through the game, and they're going to continue it here. Tuanu is having a little bit of a nap.
Both sides have just been phenomenal with the pistols throughout, so all of these force buys I completely agree with. Got a lot of Mac 10s over on the EnVyUs side.
Got the Mac Daddies. 3 of them. Will that work for them? That's the question.
That'd be a sick show. Oh, Mac Daddy.
Sing the theme tune, write the theme tune.
Yeah, I'm writing it as we go.
There's It's a work in progress, guys. Don't worry. Mac Daddy coming soon.
TM.
Yeah, you said it now, so it's all good. It's sorted. That's how trademarks work. T-side actually rotating away from this A-side. Now, one of their only rifles is actually on shore. Will Devil check if he pushes aggressively? That's the question. Most people don't, it has to be said. There's a little bit of aggression coming in. Yeah, Devil clearly didn't check as he went pushing in. Twanu doesn't have any armor. Happy's actually causing quite a bit of a ruckus over towards that B side, but there's still a couple of players here. Twanu doesn't have much to do. Existence will finish off one. He's in a decent position. He's actually managed to drop the bomb. Now, there's still plenty of time left for them to retrieve it. He's got a Mag 10, so this is all about trying to make a little bit of extra money, and XMS doesn't allow anything of the sort. But Maniac gets into position, however, Sixer holds. So 4 players surviving. They use the Mag 10s well. Let's see, well, money's not going to be good, is it? Because LDLC actually forced into the round. So it's going to be at least a 3-round lead, or it should be, unless they make colossal mistakes.
3 Mac Daddy still in play. It's gonna be, should be a sweep of a round from EnVyUs. Do we have 4 players? No, in fact, we got 3 players over towards B. And Happy looking to do what Maniac does for his team. Just straight up push that short onto B. Does not find anyone.
He's got himself a kill from this position before, so they should expect it if they were to go aggressive, but of course they're playing more of the sort of Astralis strat where they just hide in the site, and actually they're doing a lot of damage. 2 kills already. Not like this, Envy, not like this. This is a round you can't lose. They're like, losing to pistols is bad. Losing to pistols when it's literally just 1 P250 bought and the rest of the players have saved every single piece of money. Scream will be able to turn one back, but there's so many players here. He's just being whittled away. Down to 16. He goes down. It's now Sixer into a 1v3. No, sorry, 2v3. XMS was hiding away on the other side of the map.
He's got the bomb as well, and he's going towards that B bomb site, which is currently open for Alex. Will he get there in time? Oh, he's going to make a sound as well. So XMS should know this.
Oh my god, no. Oh, he's right at that corner. Does a lot of damage, but Alex runs out of bullets, so he doesn't manage to kill him at least. This should not be a tense round. It's nothing invested. $300 is all. They still have the M4. That's been thrown over to Existence. Alex will go down into a 2v2. They're restoring this round. Playing passive. They know they won't have a kid. Devil finishes off one more. Now it's all onto Existence. They have still dropped 4 players, but he doesn't have a kit. He'll have to hit an instant headshot and another bullet. Sixer just trying to bait him out. Fake flashes. But he will actually kill him in the end. So they've lost every single player. There's no way Existence saves this gun. He knows it as well. Just going to take it like a champ. And that will be every player dead. A round where $300 was invested for LDLC, and EnVy rely on the bomb to take the round.
Wow, such a good round from LDLC. Well, yeah, it was a good round from LDLC. The way they set up on that B bomb site, not going for that first shot when they passed by, just setting up for the perfect crossfire when they decided to start pushing towards B lower. And EnVyUs, well, they managed to pick it up in the end, but it cost them a lot. 11-8. And we're back on weapons. Twanu even with the AWP.
There's no armor on it. So he's going to be a bit more vulnerable to nades, which EnVy have an abundance of. And also the aim punch as well, but Alex is the one shooting through walls. Somebody check his mouse. Or his gaming chair, of course. Oh, so close for Existence. Just 12 HP for Scream. But it is going to be evened up. 4v4. No kits. Utility dwindling for both teams, but EnVy still doing slightly better on that front. And LDLC didn't have much to begin with, of course. They really don't have a huge amount of money in this situation. Orp, yet to be spotted, and still waits over towards the A side of the map. And the T's just lurking at the moment. Happy even. I was going to say Harry, don't know why.
Harry,
clearly on the mind.
Get out of the server, Harry. You do not belong. Alright, does look like EnVy has decided to... No, in fact, well, the bomb is going down towards B. A little bit back and forth here before they do decide to hit that A-bomb site.
Oh, and the rotation has actually come off from the CT side. It means they're going back in the wrong direction. The smoke should give the game away, but Twanu My friend, you've got some work to do, and that's a sitter. A shot he should not miss, and instead now he's going to get Molotov'd out of position. His usefulness in this round has diminished to 0, at least for the next few seconds. Can try and flash over. Does catch XMS with the flash, but it doesn't matter. They're behind smoke and just going to be waiting. And already you can look at the position of Happy. He's just waiting for any rotations as well. Alex will get the first kill back in, but Sixer's able to trade. Tagged low himself. They do not have a lot of time because they don't have a kit. It has to be quick, and already things just seem to have gone too far. Devil needs to get both of these kills within a matter of seconds, and XMS knows it. Hiding around the corner. Happy will be there to close the round. And another for Envy, and no more money for LDLC. Patience
was the name of the game there. Well played. Playing off the timer and picking up the round. And does look like we might see a third map here. EnVyUs in full control on the offensive side of things.
Similar to what we saw in the first half, though. Strong start. It took a bit of time for LDLC to really get going, like get a strong buy, have all their utility, because of the way that Envy were just able to crush them when they finally managed to get something on the board. Happy. Okay.
Right.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I think he's going to be all right. Very lucky that that doesn't spread any further. Of course, his pistols once again, but so far that has been the bane of Envy's life. They really have struggled, and it's going to continue that way by the looks of things. Existence finds one, and this turns the attention away. So you can see maybe a little bit more aggression, but Existence gets another. The Deagle style's incredible. Finally, XMS will end his reign of terror. But you've got to be scared at this point from Envy. There's no safe rounds. There's no easy ones. LDLC making things so difficult. They've got 3 players on this B side. It looks like one may be rotating away, which could be beneficial now. Oh, are they going to do exactly what LDLC want, though? They're backing all the way into what looks like T-spawn. 40 seconds left. A decision has to be made soon. Another smoke thrown down for LDLC, so that buys even more time over towards Monster. And they're actually rotating through the spawn back to Monster again. So they're not going to have much time, but, and a big but that is, Happy manages to get the entry onto the site. It leaves just Devil here. He's got Monster smoked at least for now. Sprays wildly, and it's not the ideal weapon to spray bullets with. 18 seconds left, but they should be fine, although there's Alex to find one more. On to just Tuanu. He has no armor, no nothing. Just going to be running around hoping to find the headshot, and Happy will have to save them again. 13-8. But now we go into the buy, and if anything, maybe the buy's the worst buy for LDLC.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same. And yeah, match pause.
Here we go.
Makes sense.
Same as the first half. Is it even the same amount of rounds? Are we doing math again?
Are we doing math? Let's look at the scoreboard.
5 in a row. It was 7-2, so it's only 5-1. It's a little bit earlier than last time.
All right.
They didn't get those middle rounds.
They're trying to do it a little bit earlier this time around. Let's see if it will work out for them.
Tuanu at the moment, Orpa for the team. A pricey weapon at that is on 4 kills. Devil, and the new guy on the block, someone who in the sort of, I think it was LDLC Blue, was the star of the team. 8 kills. Existence, known for his mastermind tactics and back in the day being ridiculous with his aim. 22 and 14.
Yeah.
Is something going wrong here, Simon? Or is something going right for some of the members of the team?
The latter, I guess. I mean, we saw that from Existence yesterday as well. He picked up quite a few amount of frags across the board.
I've found it with any team like that Pronex has been in. If Pronex is top of the board, you're losing the match. That's normally the way it goes.
Really?
Normally. Obviously, there's occasions where they just stomp people, and that's not the best start. XMS is now down very low, and Tuanu, he'll finish that kill. Say thank you very much, Scream. I didn't need your help because I used an AWP anyway, but I appreciate the assist.
What did Scream do?
Knifed him in the back.
Ah, that's not what you're supposed to do to teammates.
Top class analysis once again.
Thank you very much. We'll talk. We'll go deeper onto that later, for sure. Tuanu finally hitting his shots. That bodes well for LDLC, because there are more players pushing towards A long. We've had a little bit of a change of Existence now holding long, which makes sense because it's going to be a close quarter combat in just a few seconds.
Oh, the tank. Too quick on the trigger, goes for the second, but Existence, the star at the moment of LDLC, is going to be able to get himself another. Looks for more, but Happy does enough. leaves it back into a 3 versus 3. They've already got 2 members, or 1 member and 1 rotating. Alex is going to find 1, but again, it's just a trade. Maniac is trying to come in on the flank. Devil is the man actually close by. Maniac's got here quick enough that it could make a big deal. Now, they've planted a bit more closed than we normally see, not going for the open plant because they knew it could be there, and Scream, instant 1-tap, leaves Devil alone, 1 versus 2, otherwise 14 rounds will be on the board, and Sixer not missing his shots this match. 2 rounds needed. And the money, well, it's not great, is it?
It's not, but okay, they do force into it.
Don't want to let them hit 15.
Alright, interesting.
Just
Considering
go
how,
with the pistols,
how
yeah.
strong they've been with the pistols, that kind of feels like the better choice. But they do have a lot of utility. So, be able to stall Envy for quite some time, but will it be enough?
Yeah, 14 to 8. If they don't win this round, then they're in exactly the same position in the next round. So you've sort of just, rather than letting yourself have 1 decent buy, you've put yourself in a position where you have to have 2 dodgy buys. Happy, nice little boost. Watching for Alex, it doesn't look like he's going to move. He's getting so close. It's almost like he's teasing us with the X-ray, just like, yeah, no, almost. But he's actually just spotting onto short.
I think Alex is quite aware of the potential of being killed from that boost, so holding a nice little angle, just jump peeking. No kills being exchanged so far, 50 seconds remaining. And the bomb has rotated over towards A.
45 seconds left on the clock. Twan who's going to take a more aggressive angle. A man who looks like he could be in full tilt mode right now. It hasn't been his map at all, and you can see the difference in his play. He's going to go a little bit more aggressive this time. Get up around that smoke. There's not a lot of time left, but RPK again with the entry over towards this A side of the map. He's been brilliant too. Another kill for RPK. He is in full tank mode at the moment. Maniac will be able to get 1, and that at least gives him an AK. May actually opt to save. Yeah, 3 versus 2. And they're just going to go and keep these weapons. So I suppose that does mean at least that they'll have a slightly improved buy than we saw in the last round, although they did have a rifle anyway. But it still means it's not going to be the best. And I guess they also could drop a couple as well.
Yeah, I still think LDLC made the right decision, considering they're up 1 map, and having 2 rounds here with weaponry, it's provides them more chance to get into the game. But easy to be Mr. Hindsight, obviously, and say that it was a bad call.
I'm just thinking, like, so many of those pistol rounds came very, very close. Just 1 or 2 stolen away. Who knows how this game could have gone. But then, I suppose, in the latter round situations, the almost unnecessary clutch situations that Envy created, but you still have to give them props for coming out on top on almost every single one.
Yeah.
And they won a few pistol rounds of their own, which RPK was the main man to look at here, and I think if we get the scoreboard up quickly, he may be the main man to look at over on that side whatsoever. Am I about to be cucked again? Yep. Completely cucked, but it doesn't matter. I believe that he's at the top of the board.
He's been playing out of his mind, and Envy really needed that after going 0-1 down.
Yeah, XMS has had his moments as well, which we didn't really see on the previous map. Here we go. Set up to B. Every player going together. XMS gets the entry kill, starts things off. Maniac's burning, but he still gets a kill. That's the 2nd time in a Molotov that he's managed to at least get something done. However, it's left onto his teammates. Alex with the FAMAS. Evens things once more, but Happy holding rotations, gets 2, and it leaves it all onto the brick. Gone within seconds. Happy will be there to take the 2nd map. The pick of LDLC, they do the reverse of what just happened, and in more dominant fashion as well, although a hell of a lot of close rounds. Either way, we're going to have enough time to break this down just after the break.
focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.
And welcome back once more to ESG Tours Qualifier for Mykonos. It is 2 maps down and it's 1 apiece between the 2 teams. What better way to decide a grand final than to go all the way to map number 3. Before we get there though, of course, let's break down match number 2 with Tom and Simon. They've now won a map on each other's map. Simon, that's not usually the case.
I mean, they know each other too well, it seems. They
do, don't they?
They feel comfortable going up against each other on each other's map, so it makes sense. But this game, wow. Envy on the T side, that's plow. I mean, did LDLC pick up more than 1 round as CT? I don't think so, no. But there was a lot of the rounds there that went a little bit too close for comfort for Envy. I mean, there was only pistols on LDLC.
That was a round that was a flat eco, and they killed everyone, and the bomb won the round for EnVyUs, which that's just not good enough. Like, okay, the rest of it, like buy rounds, they were impeccable. Like, the entry kills are coming in. I think RPK had an absolutely phenomenal game, and on both sides, he won them some rounds that they should never have won, which is just so important in a game like this. It can really just change the balance, like the round that they had where he gets 3 kills with a P250 and Kevlar, and the rest of the team like chime in as well along the way. It's just those rounds that you sort of think, okay, if they don't get that round, they don't get the boost of the economy, they may not have all the utility in the next round, and then maybe LDLC actually racks some more rounds up in the first half, and it doesn't go the same way. Instead, they have the half in the end on their CT side, and then on the T side, even though things came close, you have to give them props that they do rectify all of those situations, and only dropping 1 round is always going to be impressive.
Yeah, we said they were quick to make up for the mistakes yesterday, and they weren't quite that quick first game today.
No.
I guess we put it down to the whole, you know, Envy don't start well and all that kind of stuff, but it's 6 o'clock in the evening, guys. Like, it's not the morning anymore. Like, there's no more excuses for early starts or anything like that. But that game, they were much better. They did fix those issues. From an LDLC point of view, Tom, that wasn't anywhere near the kind of performance that we expect, individually speaking.
Oh, no. Well, from existence.
Apart from existence.
Props have to
Kevin
go.
was having a good game in a bad game.
Yeah, that I do see that quite a bit with in-game leaders. Maybe not so much with him, but it's always the case where if your in-game leader's at the top and you're not like stomping someone, then even if he's having an incredible game, a lot of the time you're thinking, okay, well, really one of the stars. Like, he's brought these players in to have big games. Devil really wasn't there. Twanu, I don't even think he had a single impactful kill the whole game.
Where was he that game?
I think last time I remember checking, he had 5 kills, which even if he then got a couple towards the end, they didn't win any of their rounds towards the end anyway, so they didn't have a huge impact. And he's the AWPer for the team. Now, I do think economy plays in a bit with that.
Sure.
But at the same time, if you're not having a huge impact and you're spending 4,750 on a gun, that's not good enough. And most AWPers in pretty much every single team have to be a star player. And today, he hasn't been that great overall. This map, he was awful.
Yeah, definitely got to step up as we head into map number 3. And that third map is going to be Cobble. We'll take a look at the map right now, of course. And this is a repeat. We're back to where we were at the very beginning of day number 1 here in the Mykonos qualifiers, because this was the very first matchup of the day, LDLC versus Envy. It was on Cobble, and Envy swept it. It wasn't necessarily a big win,
No,
but
it was 16-10.
but it was a good win for Envy, because as you pointed out, Simon, in that match, they did make adjustments. There were a few rounds where they were a bit sloppy. Their money control wasn't particularly great at times either, and yet somehow they still managed to win 16-10. Which is a decent scoreline.
Absolutely. I think that the key for Envy in this matchup, especially on CT, is that drop zone control, because that was the only reason LDLC was able to pick up rounds on the T side. And going over to the T side, Envy was just phenomenal. Going for the simple strats, it just pretty much rushed B, and it worked nearly every single time.
The playoff strat.
Yeah, the playoff strat. Yeah. So I said at the start of this show, I think that if it goes down to Cobblestone, then obviously I think Envy is going to win.
Okay, and you haven't changed your mind on that?
No.
Okay. If they are going to win, or LDLC are going to win, I'm going to say here, they have to make adjustments of their own now. So how do they approach Cobble? What do they take out of what they learnt yesterday, and what can they use against Envy to beat them at the range? We see this so many times where teams play the same map again, and the other team wins because they've figured out why they were so good the first time round.
Well, I think for starters, Twanu has to have a better series. I think utilizing that AWP on Cobble is always very, very important. And I think Sixer today has been very, very good. So going up against him isn't going to be like sort of an easier task than maybe you'd expect it to be. And like other than that, like we know that Maniac, at least in terms of numbers, has been at least at a decent level every single time. It's somebody else that you need to see stepping up and going a little bit more aggressive. I think Alex in the games like later in the day on Cobble was very good at holding down drop. Now, if he can do that again, I think that's a massive win factor for them. But again, he's been very sort of up and down. Like in the frags, like early in the day, he was pretty poor and then came back. So it's still definitely possible that they do take it. It's just that individually they need to do better. And again, if they start letting Happy like sort of just run out plat and kill people, or do what he was doing in sort of the pistol round where he just sort of snuck out drop and was just all the way around the back, you think that's a spot you need to be controlling. So don't let Happy do what Happy likes to do.
All right, okay. Well, we are moments away from our third and final game to find out which of these two teams goes to Mykonos. Let's head into the game right now with LDLC versus EnVy. Game number 3. It's all on the table for this one. Which one's going to the shop to pick up the suntan lotion? We'll find out at the end of this particular map on Cobble.
Yeah, this is it. It all comes down to one. All comes down to, I think it's quite fitting that we've actually started with Cobble, or finished with the Cobble. There was also a lot of Cobble all the way through, but let's just ignore that factor.
And yeah, it's the same teams as well that plays the same map at the start and the end of the tournament. I gotta say though, LDLC really needs to step up their game if they want to have any shot at going to Mykonos. And as you pointed out before going into the game, Tuanu, for me, is the big problem right now for LDLC. And going up against Sixer, wow, he had such a good game over on Overpass. Let's see if he can replicate that form here on Cobblestone.
Any scoped weapon in his hand seemed to be deadly, and that's scary. That's very, very scary. Existence already spotting out a few players early into this round, so that's important in terms of info. Something that's very difficult on this map, and the boost actually comes in early on. And we talked about controlling drop. Hey, just go aggressive and take drop, and it's Maniac once again. First kill goes their way. The split now becomes a little bit more difficult because, okay, they still have the potential, but they've had to move a second player back over. It looks like they've sort of done what a lot of players do, where they make a hell of a lot of noise over towards the A-holes, and then they look to fall back. But instead, they're looking for some sort of A split / A fake.
Indeed, it does. We've got 2 players from EnVy right now going over towards B, and it does look like they want to go for... No, in fact, they do not want. They just go for the fake sound of that drop, and we've got Sixer just looking to make something happen on B plat, but the bomb is still over towards A for EnVy. Oh, but Alex, you dirty dog. What are you doing?
Well, if he's British, he's a bulldog, right? That's the typical one.
They're normally dirty.
Okay. Don't know about that, but we'll see. He's coming from behind. And it is going to be Alex going down, in fact, and another kill for RPK, turning it on his head and hits the head and gets one through the door. Tuanu is now gone, not going to have any impact in this round, and swings and roundabouts. Maniac in from behind. Devil looking to try and sneak through. Does manage to get out. RPK going to take the aggressive face versus him. Does have support. Devil now able to just sort of keep switching between 2, hoping he can connect one shot at least, but it's not going to happen. Dropped. And EnVy will take the pistol. Another big round involving pistols and involving this man. Just look at, like, you know that that's exactly what he's thinking. I've hit the dink, and it's all calculated.
Yeah, and Tuanu just having the worst game of his life over on Overpass ends up getting that against him in the very first round here on Cobblestone. It's not gonna feel good for them. And we got the Mac Daddy buy coming in from EnVyUs. Interesting. Obviously, LDLCS.
It's Return of the Mac.
Yeah, Mac Daddy.
You realize Return of the Mac is an actual song. Like, that's why I said it. Return of the Mac.
I haven't heard it, so that just flew right past me. Anyways, Happy doesn't care. He's on to killing Alex.
I'm disappointed. We're playing that song the second this ends. Happy will start things off. It's slightly ruined by the ump with the max, but it's not bad either way.
Leave it to XMS to screw up the perfect round, right?
Yeah, he's still going with the Tech 9. He's living in the past. That's what's going on at the moment. But here we go. They're running straight into a stack. There's 3 players at the moment on the site itself. 1 around drop. We'll see if they can do it with all of these Mac 10s or if the pistols will prevail once again. Maniac blind in the corner. Caught out within seconds, and he's the one holding from behind. Instead, the tank lives on, still doing more damage. He has support from Happy as well, along with Scream. And yeah, all of those SMGs will be continuing, leaving it 2-0.
Another great round from RPK. And LDLC, obviously, they've been showing off their pistol skills throughout this final, but that round they didn't really have much to say. However, we saw them with a clean eco earlier. That worked out fine for them. And EnVyUs decided to invest into an AK this round.
Yeah, no point rebuying another SMG when you already have 3 saved.
Well, you say that, but we've seen that a couple of times throughout the qualifier, haven't we?
Mainly on Happy, though.
Yeah,
It's just that he doesn't want an AK as of yet. Maybe doesn't trust himself. And also the way he plays as well. He just likes running in these sort of rounds. So, understandable. RPK, actually, because he survived in the last, so he must have dropped one of the Mac 10s over. Maniac, actually going to be able to find a pick at least. It doesn't net him anything, but it's potential now, as RPK is actually alone in drop. If they could somehow get this AK out of his hands, that would be magnificent. But he's spinning around, and actually, that timing's so important because he gets knifed. That would have been a backstab knife and given Devil $1,500 and an AK. Instead, RPK, 180 headshot. I think we're back in COD.
And so far, only one player dropped for them as well, so looking good for Envy. It's up to Existence now to try to take some money away from Envy. He's got the new favorite gun, Tom. Calling the return, obviously.
Well, it's one of those things where maybe nobody's noticed how overpowered it is because the other ones are so much more jumping. Screen goes down. Again, it's not really anything picked up. It's a Mac 10. We don't really want to be seeing that going into the next round, so Existence is just going to try and take somebody with him. Sixer's the man with the most HP, so he will challenge for the fight, and none of them go down to the bomb. So, 3-0, somewhat expected after the pistol win. But this is it. So he obviously very low on HP, and he knifes him in the front. So if he doesn't turn round, he gets knifed and drops an AK. Instead, he keeps the AK and embarrasses Devil with a failed knife kill.
It's all down to math, basically.
Math and a little bit of science.
A little bit of science. Envy. A lot of pressure towards that B-bomb site, but have stalled.
Not the start they were looking for. Devil actually, he's gone for this MP9 once again. He does have the kit and head armor as well. But they haven't actually kept that many SMGs into this round. So Envy with 4 rifles and 1 UMP still surviving on XMS. And in terms of their setup, relies very heavily on one man performing. And unfortunately that one man is a man who's had real trouble so far. Hopefully, it's a different map, it's a different time. They're only 1-1. This is where they have to wake up. And let's see, pushing into the scope of Tuanu. Can he have the impact we so desire? No, he can't. Misses the shot. Caught between 2, and now they're going to go barreling onto this side. There's 2 players already here. One in the corner, Existence up above. Alex just going to hold. Simple kill for him. Gets a second, almost a third as well, as Sixer is low, but Happy turns things back. Devil, well, this weapon may not be appropriate for a retake. There's an M4. Is he going to go for it? It doesn't look like it. He doesn't want to try and ruin his old team with a 1 versus 3. Instead, he'd rather keep the kit and that trusty M4 along with his armor into the next round.
Good, safe decision. Although, I have to say, throughout the qualifier, I feel like we've seen little of the 1v3, 1v4 situations. Like, feels like the players are playing stuff a lot more safe. And to me, that just kind of underlines the fact that the winner goes through to Mykonos, and it really means a lot to these teams to go to that big tournament up against the big teams. And obviously the luxurious place you're going to go to as well.
And not forgetting seeing Red Eye in his trunks. Like that's the biggest prize, right?
Yeah, in real life you can actually touch his bottoms as well. I've already been there, and I can tell you it's...
Of course you have. Of course you have.
It's as good as it sounds. I'll tell you that much.
Oh god.
Alright, Devil obviously able to save that weapon, but other than that we got pistols.
The better buy, of course.
The better buy for LDLC for some reason.
And RPK, P250 King.
Yep.
Although he's, to be fair, he's been pretty good all the way across the board. I think we should go back to Alex and have a look at Mr. Krabs. Oh, look, it's Mr. Krabs on the wall. Do you know that?
Mr.
No,
Krabs.
that should be the call out. That's Mr. Krabs.
Oh yeah. I've never noticed that before.
My friend Rob pointed that out to me, and I was laughing for a long time. There's one on Mirage as well. So if anybody wants to go and like take a picture of every single Mr. Krabs, you can. In the meantime, setup has come in, pushing onto guess who? It's going to be Maniac this time. Switch things away, no longer having that AWP on Twanu. He's back on B. A little bit of a patient play coming out from RPK as he makes sure that nobody can go aggressive towards this B side of the map. And actually, they're doing the same again. Make as much noise as we can over towards the A side of the map, hoping that we'll force a rotation. And it looks like Alex is a little bit tempted. He's sort of edging towards those connector doors. Instead, now RPK is going to be the one leading the charge. He was the lurker before. Instead, Twanu's head is gone within seconds. The entry frag from Mr. RPK has been incredible. Bit of damage being done, though. The rifle gets one. Alex gets one. He actually finds the rifle in return. Can't do anything more, though, as XMS decapitates him. Leaves it onto Maniac with that deadly P250. No, there's a player behind, and unfortunately, that keeps him caught between two worlds. 5-0. EnVy looking for more of the same.
What's nice about that is that he managed to take that AWP off of Sixer, and his teammates did not bring that back in time. So that's a lot of damage to their economy. And,
Still got quite a bit, though.
Of course they do, but in the end he couldn't really win that round.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much the max he could get out of a good little defensive setup in B halls. I like that. Watch out for the boost.
Yeah, just making sure that nobody can go aggressive, which has been something they did actually in the pistol round. You have to remember how well that pistol round actually started off with Maniac getting that first kill, and it looked like it was going to be falling their way until, again, it was RPK to step up in that round. T-side yet to be dedicated to either side. Maybe expecting a bit more aggression from the CTs, and for that matter, they're actually going to be waiting. Twanu has gone from being quite aggressive with his AWP to all the way back towards SWAT. In fact, on top of SWAT. Not the most common spot in the world, but let's see if it works for him.
It's a good thing to try to change things up when you're not delivering the goods on your normal setup. Can get behind that choice.
Interesting thing is they would have known the Happy has actually dropped in, and that's why they've got RPK just waiting. So he's holding the angle, and the Happy has 100% faith in his teammate to be holding that angle, because if not, he's dead. Like that's pretty much it. It's nice to see. Again, small factor. 25 seconds left, and they've left it very late. But it is going to be the split through drop. Going straight out, RPK leading the charge once again, and he still gets the opening kill and a second as well. Maniac tries his best to respond, but nothing can stop RPK at the moment. It may have not started as his series, but the last two maps have been all RPK. 6-0 is confirmed. Twanu and Existence are left to save on A. And what do you even do? What do you do if a man is just walking into a site and killing you every single time?
That's the thing, though. I feel like LDLC is not really doing anything wrong. It's just all down to the duels, always going in the way of EnVy. And my RPK, like, he gets the second frag that round.
Yeah, I don't know how he
I
gets...
don't understand that. So it's all down to the LDLC players not hitting their shots.
Yeah, man on tree. To be fair, did have to turn around, but at the same time, he was already tagged very, very low. And of course, EnVy are going to be trying to take these weapons. Twanu again, he misses a close shot, hits the no-scope, of course. Peeks out and actually takes down another. So, a couple of kills. Not going to be hugely impactful, well, not going to be impactful really at all. It means a couple more rebuys. And now we're going to see the pause. Now, last time they did it as 7-2 in the first half, it made a big difference. Then they did it again in the second half of the last map, and it did nothing. So, a bit hit and miss with the pauses. Clearly, there's something that needs to be changed here.
Yeah, and I think basically they're just talking about the next round. I don't see them buying into this, but at the same time, they're starting to fall.
They could drop 2 rifles, and then they still have the AWP. But then you're basically saying, okay, if we lose this round, then we don't have any money for the next. And you don't really have them on the back foot. Like, it's not like EnVy are in a position where it's like, oh yeah, we're going to have to eco if we don't win this round. They're still going to buy. They are going to go for it. I can't say I'm overly surprised.
No. They need to start picking up rounds for sure, and I mean, they're beyond the point where they can play safe with the economy, really. They need to start getting rounds.
Has Devil's MP9 been successful once in the last 2 days? Oh, that's a nice double nade. Happy. Is that... Nope. No, I'm good, guys. We just got double naded. There's at least a couple of players there. Let's fall back for now. Are they actually just going to go running straight into A? That would be a brilliant read off of them if that is what they're doing. Of course, they saw a lot of nades going in, so it's a reasonable gamble that there aren't going to be as many players over towards this side of the map. In fact, Existence is into the long spot. It has been a quick rotation from Twanu. What can he do with the AWP? Catches one. He doesn't need vision to AWP. Maybe that's it. When he can't see, he's a little bit more confident. Peeks out for a second, gets it as well. Here we go, Twanu, but traded out eventually by 6. The Devil tries to pick up the AWP, and possibly the worst situation ever. And the flank on the flanker is going to catch out. You've been out-lurked, Mr. Existence, by the Master Happy. However, it will come back to the 1v1. Sixer, who was phenomenal Overpass. Maniac, I would say, has been the best player for the whole of LDLC. Can he do this? He's actually going to switch things up from behind. Now, they do know roughly where Sixer was before. He's played this absolutely perfect. And finally, finally they get around. It would be off the back of him, of course. But Twanu does have a big impact in that round. Big
Absolutely.
impact.
Yeah, he's back into it now. And the change has been, obviously, that he's playing a bit more defensive. And it seems to be a style that suits him more right about now. So, well, we'll have to see, though. LDLC, obviously, if they lose this round, it's not going to be good for them.
Look, an MP9.
Oh, wow, Devil. I've never seen you pick up that before.
Yeah, other than anti-ecos, I genuinely don't know if we've seen a single kill come out with that MP9. So if I'm wrong, please correct me, but I just don't think it's been a success. Where's he actually going to be? Where's he going to be playing? Close. It's understandable. The position isn't bad. It just means if you end up in a retake spot, you're basically screwed. Twanu. There we go. Scream is down. Looks for a second. Can't quite find it, but he does have support. Flashes into middle as well to try and take a bit more of a re-peek. Actually gets the kill as well. Twanu's on point. XMS will be able to trade, but takes a lot of damage in the meantime. Okay, maybe a little bit too much there, trying to no-scope through the smoke, and he's going to be caught because of it. 3-on-3 occurs, and if you look at the amount of utility that's still left over on this Envy side, here we go! Finally an MP9 kill comes in, an impactful one as well, as he takes down the Master RPK from 12-2 to 12-3 as he gets just his third death on the board. But at the same time, the bomb's still over towards this A site. Flashbang thrown over. Peak going to come out from XMS, who only has 12 HP. Alex will avoid his vision, at least for now. Maniac going to be left slightly blind, but not anything that affects him too much. And XMS is just going to try and sneak through here. 6 around the corner, knows exactly where his opponent is, but the same can be said. 20 seconds coming up on the clock, and it has to be down to XMS. He's going to be sneaking through, doesn't check the angle properly, and now the bomb's been dropped. Alex with a big play. Twanu again being impactful in this round, and they do at least convert a couple, but the pressure is not off yet.
Twanu just seems like the kind of player that needs to get a couple of frags to get up his confidence, and once he gets there, he starts racking up kills. So well done by him, and obviously this is what LDLC needed to get their AWPer back on track. 2-6, following a pause. So will we see the same as we've seen in the first map from LDLC?
Yeah, the other thing to mention is RPK's been isolated at the last couple of rounds, which has been important, but looking like Envy are going back to basics. Smoke's going to be thrown down. A couple back in return to try and deny some vision at least. Not actually pushing behind a lot of these nades at the moment, but here we go. Looks like they're going to leave the Tech 9s to lead the charge. Flash goes out. Yet to really push into the site. Counter flash will be thrown. Alex sprays one, and the flash is perfect. It saves him at least for now, but RPK, again, he's managed to get himself 2 back. Continuing forward the way he's been playing. Molotov will force Maniac out of position, but he's managed to sneak through. Just away, Happy seems clueless. Can RPK sneak in from behind? Twanu has no idea. A couple of kills come in, and this again, it's an assist even on that kill for RPK. He's been the master in this round, even flashing for his teammate as Happy gets a second, and they couldn't shut him down for long. What is going on?
RPK, instrumental for EnVyUs. 15-3.
So he gets 3 kills, an assist. That I think Maniac was down to 20 HP, and then he flashes for the final kill.
Yeah.
He's an all-round player.
He's carrying every single role right now. And it's not like EnVy is playing bad like the other players, but
No.
RPK is just playing that much better. And we're back on a little bit of a force buy from LDLC. Only one SMG in play. Other than that, we got pistols.
Oh, it's an MP9.
Oh, right, okay.
Haven't seen that before,
Ah,
have
he's been phenomenal with it, so it makes sense.
we? 1 kill.
Impact.
To be fair, it was actually on RPK, so that 1 kill's worth about 4 at the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
15 and 3 overall.
Lining up for the perfect Molo. Gonna force Alex out. No.
Yep.
Forces him in, actually. And we might be able to see the new 5-7 in action. Yeah, as long as Alex just holds still. Supposed to be more powerful now.
First few bullets. More accurate.
Yeah.
Again, not sure that was necessary, but let's have a look-see. Sixer and Co going to be making their way around long. Couple of players still left near the drop situation. There's actually 3 players all the way over to the left side of this bomb site. So if the Ts go through mid, they're not going to see very much up until the point where they get very, very close. 35 seconds up and coming on the clock. Happy, of course, back to his lurking style, but it works when somebody's going off like RPK, so it's absolutely fine that he's just sticking around the back lines if they can actually get the opening picks without him. Of course, mainly pistols. Now they spot out where this stack has come in. RPK gets 1, XMS with the other. Alex on the site, what can he do? Absolutely nothing. And already, well, at least they had an MP9, right?
Yeah, and it did do a little bit of damage with it. Wow, 8-2 lead, and EnVy has just broken Team LDLC's pause magic, it seems. And doesn't bode well.
I'm going to do some amazing maths here. Before the pause, they'd won 0 rounds.
Yep.
After the pause, they won 2.
Yeah.
Now, 2 is better than 0.
Absolutely, I agree with you there, Tom.
So it had a bit of impact, but the main thing that seemed to happen was that RPK got picked. I know that's the worst analysis in the world. Okay, XMS. Just, can he get it? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Ace, eco-ace. He'll push himself up the board.
Is that the first one this qualifier? I think it is.
It may be. I think that I have just got a funny feeling there was one more at least.
We've been very close with Santaris once. There we go. Get that beautiful ace up on the screen for you. Like, we've been making a lot of jokes, of course, about the eco frags, but in the end, considering they're up against LDLC, who's shown to be very strong with the pistols, that is actually well done.
Second pause. And it is looking like more of the same. Not the most complicated strats. They have been playing much slower than we saw yesterday. They've been waiting until, say, 30, even 25 seconds to actually execute onto the site, but it doesn't seem to matter that much when they execute. It's just their players are just out positioning, out aiming, just better. Like, even when it comes to just like pop flashes and stuff, they seem to be catching a lot of players blind, and then it just gets into this sort of rhythm of, okay, we buy, we save, we buy, we save, we buy, we save, and that's just exactly where EnVy are going to decimate you.
But I like that shift in pace from EnVy, considering they played this map yesterday, and LDLC probably expected fast-paced play from EnVy, and EnVy is a side that can play with, well, let's say deeper strategies. And so far it's been working out great for them, so LDLC is looking to have a massive upward struggle when they eventually change side over to the T side.
And once again, it is a buy. Glass Cannon Orc for Twanu, which actually in this map has been one of the more impactful weapons, more impactful players. It's still Maniac, who we look to a lot of the time. Actually brought them their first round in the clutch situation. They don't have much utility to play with at all, and this seems to just be playing perfectly into the hands. That we get down to 55 seconds, still a lot of time at the moment. And they've got 1 flashbang and 1 smoke, no kits. And only 2 players over towards this B site. Just, again, it's that early noise that they make over towards A, which just drags away a couple of players, or 1 player in this circumstance. Now, Maniac's position is a good one if it's not Molotov'd out. They have 3 Molotovs. Drop control has just gone completely. The rotation is going to be coming back in, but Molotov down, peeks into it. This time he can't get anything, and it is a simple trade. Alex will be able to get 1. He was the turning point in some of the matches they had here, but not this time. Sixer is going to shut him down as well, leaving Tuanu and Existence. The AWP and the IGL. IGL also top fragger in the last map, but let's move past that point. A couple of low players. As I said, they don't have a kit. They don't have any utility. So it's all going to be based off a pick. If Tuanu finds 1, then maybe they go for this. Otherwise, it's likely they'll just have to save their weapons. It's actually Existence to open things up. Gets a kill at least, but they've got to move very, very quickly in this situation. Otherwise, things are done. Scream knows this as much as anyone else. Pop Flash himself out. Spots the man on the bomb. They have actually cleared off 1 more, and so close, but so far, because Scream takes the round. And it's still just not quite enough for LDLC.
It draws a little bit of a picture for us. I mean, EnVy, we've been talking about RPK all along here on Cobblestone. And when he's down, they still got Scream. So, I mean...
That must be, like, the greatest thing ever. It's like, well, so if things go bad, we still have a nutty player. Just like someone who's absolutely ridiculous. Scream just like, oh, guy, yeah, you need... Yeah, no problem.
Yeah,
2 kills every day.
Saw that a lot on Inferno
I can do
as well.
4 with a Deagle.
He was insane that game. But they eventually lost. This time around, though, they're looking very strong as Happy drops down.
Every single player on LDLC actually buying a smoke in this round. So they do have a little bit more stopping power than we've seen before. Still no kit. Tuanu obviously not buying armor either because he wants that AWP, which I think is the right decision to make. Problem is, if they go B so late in the round, his impact is diminished severely. Risky game being played there. Shoulder peeking and goes down to just 21 HP. Can he do anything back with the pistol? No, he cannot. Alex, however, will. So it's going to be 1 at least. Can he retrieve the weapon? I'm guessing it's up the top of drop, so that's probably a no, but he will send Tuanu as his little errand boy to go and get it. They're actually going to do boost the other way. Or they're not going to boost the other way. All right.
Come on, Alex, you can do this. Oh, all right.
Actually, Devil's going to be able to get another one. So they've got a couple of AKs now, which is a nice little save. Of course, EnVy about to get their 11th round on the T side. So although it's nice that they're getting some weapons to play with in the next round and it will be a bolster to their economy, it's still getting to the point of no return. I feel like they have to get the last 2 rounds to at least give themselves a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. There's 0 impact on EnVy's economy from LDLC picking up those guns, but it's more about bolstering their own economy, which they need. But saying that, they've had a couple of rounds where they've been fully stacked out with weaponry and grenades, but not much impact. LDLC is just struggling to find a way into this game right now. And what I would like to see from LDLC, even though it's a little bit late, but they need rounds, I want to see more offensive plays coming out from them, because at this point, the game is pretty much lost for them. They need to start taking more risk, maybe go for that boost, even though it's always going to be hard with EnVy having that counter boost.
Or just do more what they did on Inferno. Set Tuanu up with the AWP on plat, and then rotate a player off. And give your A position a little bit more of a bolster. The problem is, it's now going to be a faster play coming in for EnVy. Tuanu is now on B, and he started things off. He does miss the second, hits the third. That's a nice shot onto RPK, who's an important player to have removed. And now it's going to be Scream and Happy, actually in a detrimental position here. A man down, plenty of time. Alex goes peeking in, and Scream will take that shot all day. Back to the taps, but lost to Maniac. And Happy on the AWP. 1 versus 2. This would be the final kick in the teeth. If he can take this, he's going to be waiting to see if anybody will push in. He actually hits the shot on the corner of that smoke as well, leaving it down to Maniac. Once again, we've said he's been the player to actually win them one of the only rounds they've had, but it won't be this time. Happy wins the clutch. And as you said earlier, it's nice to have someone like RPK up that top of the board, but it's not because everybody else is playing bad, as we've seen in the last 2 clutches, 1 from Happy, 1 from Scream.
Super lucky with that little gap in the smoke, but he spots the gap and he decides to take advantage of it, so that's a smart call. Ends up winning the round. Fantastic play coming out from him.
It's only a mistake if somebody else capitalizes off it.
Yep.
Speaking of gaps and smokes. Oh, is Devil about to push into his death? I don't think he is. Looking like he's going to be a bit more passive. Twanu on the AWP. Again, he gets 2 kills in that round. So I do think he's having more of an impact. If anything, they don't have Existence up the top anymore. The only reason I've said Devil's name in this game so far is to mention that he's bought an MP9 about 4 times. Other than that, we've not seen much from him. Maniac's had a moment. That's a lovely shot from Twanu. You can hold the angle all you want, Sixer. Twanu's taking that fight and taking control of Plat. Now, this is something I wanted to see. Still not playing the most aggressive style, but looking like he is going to go back for more. And then you see it, a rotation over. They put a player deeper into the A site, 1 man over in the connector, and they're playing a bit more of a gamble play. The problem is it's coming in the last round of the half, and you think, okay, if this now works, why didn't you try it earlier? But let's see if it does work. There's still 4 players standing. Sixer's the one that's been lost. And they're going to go just pushing into this A site, but already 4 players are here. They've left Twanu as the lone survivor on that B site. Let's see if they can hold on. XMS brings it back to a 4v4 very quickly, looking for more, but actually both players will be going down in a matter of seconds. It's going to be Twanu and Alex to try and hold on. Alex's position is good, already managing to turn the tide once again, but Scream will finish him and leave it onto Twanu. Goes for a crazy flick, not going to hit the shot. The bomb, it's going to go down. There's only a matter of seconds left. If he can find one of these picks, he'll isolate it. Just going to go running to try and catch Scream. Goes with the pistol, and Scream will finish him 13-2. One of the most, if not the most dominating halves we've seen. The only other one, well, no, it was actually this again. It was EnVy absolutely spanking Space Soldiers. What was it? It was 13-2 again, wasn't it? They won the pistol in the last round of the half. And that was what happens with Space Soldiers. They've just done another 13-2. Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely shouldn't play them on Cobble.
No, exactly. And yeah, I just don't know what to say, really. I mean, this is just lackluster performance coming out from LDLC. Maniac has been their standout player throughout the tournament, but standout, he's on top with 10 frags, so...
And Devil's right at the bottom. New boy back in the team, and well, not back in at LDLC, I suppose. Just not this LDLC. Either way, it is scary. It is scary how well they're actually doing on Cobble. Now, I don't think that LDLC should ever ban Cobble. I don't disagree with this map being played. The thing that they're going to be kicking themselves for is they've won Inferno, they go on to Overpass, which is their map pick, and they lose that. It's almost as if EnVy went, okay, we've given you a chance.
Yeah.
You didn't take the chance. Now we're going to destroy you. Either way, T-side now comes in. A pistol is more than necessary. They have to win the pistol. Alex looking for that opening kill. Tries to find it. It's actually RPK once again. Maniac will be able to turn things. And now it's left on Scream. Tapping away. So many targets to find. Does manage to take one. Happy in the back lines. Gets another. Peeks out towards Existence. Hits the headshot. And now Alex is the last hope for LDLC. Can he give them a little lifeline? No, he can't. Happy picks up 3 kills from the chicken coop. And LDLC will have to force buy. There's no choice.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's 14-2. Losing that pistol round is basically the final nail in the coffin.
I feel pretty good wearing blue right now.
Yeah,
I'm now
do?
part of the boys in blue.
Welcome.
Well, you're wearing white.
But I'm blue.
Dabba dee dabba da.
You know me, Eiffel 65.
I'm happy you got that one. If you didn't get that one, I would have been very unhappy. Full SMGs, though. Now, EnVy, this is something they love to do. They are pretty good with them, to be fair. And if they utilize in the right way, they can work wonderfully. Deagle's on the other side. Alex he's joined the meta. P250.
They're using them the right way, though. You can see across the board they're playing really close angles.
Except XMS.
Yeah, except XMS. But yeah.
Just challenge long plat, you know. Alex, here we go, though. This is the problem they had before, where players are able to sneak through. Happy seems aware, but he'll still lose his life, and now they're able to sort of get that flank in from behind. Can Maniac do anything here? Spamming away. Doesn't, but Twanu will. Push back in from RPK, though. Gets one, looks for a second, and a third. Well, I think one of them was stolen by Sixer, but either way, it is going to be 15-2. RPK sits 21-8, but they're nowhere near lagging behind, and Well, we could be about to witness the most dominating victory of the whole tournament in the final map of the whole thing. Of course, EnVy now 1 round away from getting over to sunny Mykonos through the qualification as well. They're the only team who needed to qualify. And it looks like they're about to do it in style. Aggression from Happy. Is actually going to be Molotov'd off. Force back, but here comes the smoke setup from this T side. Actually, is this going to be an elaborate fake? But there's already a player waiting. Sixer has spotted everything. He's going to drop the bomb. XMS finds another as well. And this is all but over. LDLC tried to throw something spicy into the mix right at the end. We'll throw all those smokes in. We'll fall back, but it doesn't matter. EnVy wins 16-2. It is the most dominant map of the whole tournament. And, well, what do you say about that?
Hopefully it can give me some audio. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, you kind of set me up perfectly for the 3 words. It was a bit of a BSR, that one.
What does that stand for?
What does it stand for?
Yeah, what does it stand for?
Buggered, screwed, and wrecked, I think. Something like that.
Yeah,
anyway,
I like how you started to use one of the words.
What on earth was
Couldn't think of a third one, could you?
What do you mean? No,
Yeah, you use
ruined.
wrecked.
Ruined. I should have said ruined. I mean, that was absurd. As you just said, Tommy, it's like the biggest win of the entire qualification series. We had 7 matches, biggest win by far. Why did they wait so long to show us their power? Because
I still
that was
think
a
it
really
is.
good performance.
They were like, okay, Inferno, if you can now win your map choice, you can have it. You can go. We'll be nice to you, our French brothers. And then they couldn't do it, so they went, okay, let's destroy them. And RPK just went, okay, you want tank mode? And he went, yeah, we want tank mode, and just walked into sites and blew heads off. And then even in other situations, it was sort of like, it was almost like they sent RPK in, and if it didn't work, then they went, oh, okay, I'll play now. And then you had clutches from Happy, Scream, like Sixer was on the map. Right at the end, you see him just catching rotations and finishing players off. All-round impressive performance from them.
Yeah, and Simon, great to see RPK. We mentioned him yesterday. Had a good day yesterday as well, even when they weren't playing that well. He stepped up, done the same today. I know it's a bit too early to kind of say, wow, is the tank back fully in form? But if he carries on like this in Mykonos, you've got to be like, whoa, maybe we're seeing a new version of this man.
I mean, if this continues, we're gonna have like I think maybe 4 more months of him in EnVy before he goes into phase.
Phase tank. It does have a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
I have to say, LDLC kind of lets me down in that map. I mean, they got 2 pauses and they failed to kind of adjust. They don't really do that much.
Yeah, the first one
changes.
they get 2 rounds. One of them was based off a Maniac clutch, which doesn't really show that the strategy's improved. It's like, okay, Maniac's done something, and then they win the next round, and then they don't win a round for the rest of the game.
Which we all found a bit strange, especially as when we saw the game yesterday, we saw what they did. They adapted to EnVy, and they made them a bit uncomfortable in places. And then, okay, they lost the map still, but they learned an awful lot from it. This looked like they hadn't learned anything.
Well, the T side still wasn't great for them, or the CT side, sorry, still wasn't great yesterday, and I think that definitely helped with just EnVy being able to start on the T side. And the thing that's worrying, though, is if you play a team on a map and you have an atrocious CT side, you then have to sort of work out, okay, what was going wrong? And even in sort of ridiculous situations where there's 25 seconds left, RPK's running through a smoke, and he still gets 2 kills, even though they know where he is, you just think, that's great from RPK. No, nothing to take away from him. But how is he doing that without you stopping him? And that's the big problem.
Okay, it is time to announce then that we have our 8th and final team. And that final team, of course, is EnVyUs. They will be going to Mykonos as our 8th and final qualifying team to join the other 7. Liquid, Heroic, Big, Mouse Sports, SK, Virtus Pro, and who have I missed? Gambit.
Don't worry, it's not like you just missed the major
The major winner.
That's not too bad, Paul. I mean, you're getting old, and that's not bad.
Getting?
I'm trying to cut him some slack here, Tom.
Destroyed. They wrecked me on that one. It's a great lineup, isn't it? These 8 teams heading over to Mykonos, Fancy Island, Fancy Villa.
I'm waiting to see if anyone can challenge SK though, because they look like the big dogs.
I'm just looking to the dunkings. I think
is
the
that
team
what-
should come up.
yeah,
No, they should come up with like a
I'm-
forfeit. Like, guys, if you beat
Yeah.
us, right, you're all in the pool.
No,
Right?
I think
If we win, then we get
that's
to
how
push you
they
in.
should get eliminated.
Yeah.
Like when you get eliminated, you go in the pool. That's what it is. It's like a dunking. Like that's what. Just
Well,
set
we
it
have a
up
helicopter.
so they get
I
dropped.
don't want to give too much away, but we have a helicopter. So I think we just put them all in the helicopter. Bye. They actually are sending them home right now. Bye.
Just put them all above water, and then the losing team gets dunked with all their equipment.
I like that as well. Maybe we could get a gunge tank or something.
And then they all get electrocuted as they hit the water.
Jesus, Tom. Okay.
Well, that would be the tech falling in.
Tom went to a very interesting place today.
Yeah,
I
I want
have
to point
say.
out that you both went as well.
We got dragged in there.
Yeah.
I was like, where are we going? What is this? Why are we paying to go into this
I
museum?
blame
It's a
Rima.
museum for torture, Tom.
Did you feel at home,
Local
Tom?
site. There was a local site in Serbia.
Yeah, it was very interesting. We had
It was
a fun day
horrifying.
out, though.
It was
That was
horrifying.
very horrifying, but we had a fun day out nevertheless. I just want to say thank you to everyone who looked after us here from EFrag. And, of course, here in Belgrade. We've had a lovely few days, actually. I want to come back on holiday. It's been a lovely time. But that is it, sadly, from us here at the Belgrade studios of EFrag for the Mykonos qualifiers. Congrats to the winners. In the end, they got there. The favourites, EnVyUs, will be headed off to the Greek island in paradise in a couple of weeks' time. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Make sure you're tuned in for the Mykonos event itself. 8 teams, of course, in there. Thank you very much to Tom and to Simon for joining us today, and everyone in the background, of course, for helping bring you these qualifiers. Quick reminder for you as well, 2 of you can join us in Mykonos. There is no crowd there. It's very much a private function, and 1 from North America, 1 from Europe can join us via winning a golden ticket. Details at the bottom of your screen right now. Make sure you're entered in to the competition, and you could be joining me and a bunch of other mates in Mykonos at the villa as VIP guests, and who knows, we might even get you on the show as well. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks' time, live from the island of Mykonos.
Be focused. Be uncompromising. Be the best and never hold out. Pick your event. Place your bet. No matter who you are or what you're here for, it's our passion that unites us. Betway, for the love of the game.